And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
Soze.
And the Red Baron.
Kaboom.
J-Mart on his way.
Yep. There was some communicational errors on the new format because we're live 10 a.m. now.
Woo!
More sports, more drunk, more Solze.
That's it. 3 hours.
Solze. Come on, Kyle. Give them the people what they want.
How are you?
That's what the people want.
We all knew it.
We are part of the new format change here at PPRN Radio Network.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff happening.
Yeah, lots of new stuff, including Getting Sports with Drunk. 3 hours, 10 to 1.
So
10 to 1.
Everyone's going to wake up even earlier with us
1
now.
p.m. Then football in 18 days.
That's it.
You know what's funny when I tell people about our show? And like, wait, you guys start drinking at 11 a.m.? And they're like, well, we start at 10 now.
We just didn't want to wait any longer.
It's like Christmas morning every Saturday night. I can't wait to drink tomorrow morning.
Well, see, it's like I wish we had like a full service bar kind of thing going on, because it'd be nice to like start off the morning like with mimosas or like Bloody Marys, and then casually work into like just shots of grain alcohol at 12:30.
I'm excited to move to our new 5-hour format where we start at 8.
Oh my god.
Beer funnels all day.
Well, I was thinking instead, what if we just do a 25-hour segment, and each person comes in and just does 5 hours by themselves. They each have to bring in a guest or two, and and we never actually run into each other.
Right.
It's just like, except for the last like 15 minutes. I show up at 8:45, and Kendall's segment ends at 9, and then I go 9 to 1.
Kendall's the only one that knows how to use the board, so he has to be here for all 25 hours.
We'll have a training session. We'll get you all on board.
Kyle could do it.
Yeah. Suck it, Mock.
And think of how many guests Kyle would have on. Think of how many car wash attendants he knows, drive-through people.
Notice you eat a lot of number 4s. What's your favorite part of it?
Kyle, what's your favorite part of the number 4?
None of it, because it's overrated.
What's the number 4?
Bacon King. Mayonnaise is gross. Our bacon's terrible.
All right. So there's the soul segment.
I was in the Burger King the other day. Kyle wouldn't let me take an 8-pack of buns.
Yeah.
Like he pays for them or something.
I do.
Also, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, so Kyle, I'm very sorry. Does anybody at your job listen to this show?
No.
So
They're all
went to
female.
pick up Kyle at 12:30, and he tells me to come in. It's going to be a little while. He's having some trouble with the paperwork or whatever. Okay, so I go in, sit in the office. Caesar's there, the Eat My Butt kid.
So funny.
And so we're sitting there, and I look down and I see, Kyle, what's that? And he turns around, and they have a plastic bin just completely filled to the brim with already prepared bacon. I'm like, Kyle, you going to throw that away? Or he's like, no, we're just going to use it tomorrow. I'm like, that's just going to sit there? Like that? And he's like, yeah, can I eat it? He goes, you don't want that. You don't want to eat that. I wanted it, though. I wanted to make bacon sandwiches. Just bacon and buns.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Tell you what, too. I'm slowly learning how to use that Coke machine that they have at the drive-thru. Mm-hmm. I sometimes forget what size is what cup. So I grabbed a small, and I thought it was a medium. So I hit the medium button, and then there was surge everywhere.
What you got to do
Volcano.
is you got to go to the side.
Also, still can't figure out how to do the ice yet. Because I hit the ice button, and it doesn't drop. And then I hit the soda, and then the soda goes, and then the ice drops into the soda and splashes. I've made a lot of messes. I'm trying to work my way up to being able to tell people that I broke the milkshake machine.
Well, Kendall, you bought the beers for today.
No, that's true.
Would you like to announce what we have?
In honor of the 3-hour show, got a 30. And this beer is kind of like the mascot of our show and our group, I guess you'd call it.
Big fan.
From the Plank Road Brewery. Red Dog.
Uncommonly smooth.
There's a good chance this is the last 30 in Connecticut.
Oh,
It's
no.
possible. We went to Total Wine a couple weeks ago.
Kyle, we didn't even do our toast to excellence yet.
Aha. Private stock for you, so.
I gotta go watch kids later.
But I got the last 30 at Total Wine, so it's possible. It could be the end. And it's very sad.
Back to Milwaukee's best after
Yep.
this.
I can't wait for that. I'll buy the 30 next week.
Actually, I got an email where they just found a whole shipment in my basement.
I got a news alert.
Toast of excellence, Souls?
Hold on, I'm trying to get this fucking private stock open.
Whoa. It's like 10 a.m. No cursing.
Shut up,
I'll lead off.
Yeah, this is a day of Jesus.
Big,
I wish we were Facebook Live right now.
Kyle got kicked out of dentistry school.
Never seen anyone two-hand a pair of pliers.
Got it.
Just keep it off. We're going to
At this
finish
point,
that
just
today.
drink the whole thing.
No.
Anybody get toast of excellence?
I do. To Orlando Scandrick, getting a deal with the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah.
To Colin Kaepernick for turning down a deal with the Broncos.
When was that?
I know, John always said it.
Yeah.
I know he said it, but I think they're saying like it was offered to him
Like
last year, the year before, or something like
Kaepernick's
that.
just an asshole. I'm sorry.
That wasn't really my toast, but it was a good segue into
Yes,
it
it was.
without having to go into the whole debate thing. Mock, do you have one? Mock Sheen?
Well, is that? I thought you said that wasn't your toast.
Yeah, it isn't mine, but I'm having you go next.
My toast is going out to the franchise record-setting New York Mets, dropping 24 runs on the Phillies after Kyle said they can't hit.
Oh my God.
Love it.
It's one game.
Nope,
And then
love
they
it.
lost the second game of the
Love it.
doubleheader.
You know, Kyle, we split that series with you. So
Today's the fifth game, Ken.
but that doesn't count. That's like a minor league, Long Island Ducks type deal. It just
No,
so
it's
happened.
Sunday. We had a doubleheader.
I understand that, but it just so happens it's a 5-game,
So you can go shut your face.
Kyle, we split that series.
You're just mad because Vargas is on the mound.
Kyle, it doesn't matter. Vargas will probably win for some weird reason. But the Mets did hit very well this week, right after you said it. So say more mean things.
They're going to play so good tonight.
Thank you. It's opposite day.
Kyle, your toast?
Souls?
Are you gonna try and look one up now?
I didn't have enough time.
A week?
Yeah, you guys made me do this.
Oh my God.
For a week?
Yeah. Oh, God, my phone. Oh, I'm having a rough day.
Mine.
There-
No, go, Kyle.
No.
Before you, did you see that nun throwing out the first pitch at the White
That was
Sox?
at the White Sox game.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Fun
Yeah,
fact.
mean curveball.
Rock is not a fan.
And then she did the forearm bounce
Yeah.
thing to herself. Rebecca just broke my phone, so she can have some private stock. Pass it this way.
There we go. Yeah, that's
Oh, go ahead.
I think Rebecca should have.
Am I?
Boo.
Listen, the guy deserves some loving. He's trying, all right? He hasn't tried this hard in a long time to not smoke weed.
all right.
He hasn't tried this hard to be legal.
Well, still waiting on that private stock.
Come on, Rita.
Drink it.
Rita's
Blondie.
toast to excellence is to herself for getting a full-time teaching job.
At the University of
So celebrate it by drinking a
Elementary
bunch of
School.
mixed liquor.
Make those fourth graders proud.
Come on.
Down the hatch.
Come on, just drink the damn thing.
God, it's so painful.
Just put it in your mouth and drink it.
Good thing we went to 3 hours so we could spend an hour watching her drink
Yeah.
it.
Oh my
It's not
God.
even close to your... All right,
It's like-
here's
it's
the
like
deal. you have
teetering.
3 seconds to put that liquid in your mouth or we're pouring it in one of those dirty shot glasses.
I like that Kool-Aid from Family Guy. You're like, all right, lean over.
Oh,
my
it's not
liquid in your
that bad.
mouth.
It tastes like greatness.
It tastes like greatness.
That's funny.
And no words out of her, so we're potting you down. You lose. You lose. Go.
It's awful.
All right, we knew it. All right.
All right, we knew it. Mine is to Adam Engel, the White Sox, defensive giant.
If only you can hit a little bit.
Kyle, here's the deal: if he can rob 3 home runs a week, I don't give a shit what he does with the bat. He can bat 0.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. If he can rob 3 home runs a week, I don't care if he gets on base ever. You want to know why? Because Hamilton's not getting on base, and he doesn't rob 3 home runs a week.
Hey, good enough point for me.
Guy robbed 3 home runs in a week. That's awesome.
Would you mind?
Awesome. Also, to Abreu, who's just playing out of his fucking mind right now.
I should have said mine to someone else.
Who?
Vincent.
Go ahead.
To the Oakland Athletic.
Oh, God, Kyle, here we go.
Taking over first place in the AL West.
They're tied.
They're going to win the division.
Yeah. Can I have the private stock, please?
What?
As I have to have my shot for losing last week.
Toast.
Oh, yep. Hold on.
And I can take one for forgetting like I did.
I didn't forget. I didn't open my beer.
That's the sound Red Dog actually makes, Mock.
Oh, gross. That's amazing.
It's not.
I'll be taking my shot now.
This is a Steel Reserve.
All right. Didn't know everyone was going silent there.
Well, it's just funny because I just pictured the Brazzers logo on that face you were making.
Got an email from
Shot trivia, Kendall?
Shot trivia coming right up. All right. So.
Guarantee it's football.
It is. Souls.
This throwback jersey contains this many threads of red.
Any guesses?
7.
0.
You're right. Both of you. All right. In 2014, Tony Romo's single season completion percentage was this number.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
In 2014, Tony Romo's single season completion. God, I can't say this to save my life.
What was Tony Romo's completion percentage in 2014?
Single season.
Wait, I'm
You
sorry.
don't play more than one season in 2014.
I'm sorry, Kendall,
I do.
what was it?
In 2014, Tony Romo's single season completion percentage was
68.7.
65.9.
69.8.
Oh my God. 69.9. Giggity. That's the reason I chose that number. But Paul, 0.1.
Did I lose?
I'm going to go get Jeff.
I put Kyle in the middle so that one of us was.
wait.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we got to see what Jeff's answer is.
We'll get his mic potted up. He's just going to come in blind. But, Paul. Unreal.
This is the second week in a row.
Could you imagine Jeff comes in and gets it right on the nose?
I'd be so mad.
Punch him in the stomach.
Ow.
Yeah. He wouldn't deserve that. But we should get... Oh, my whole Kyle's will be standing, so we'll make him get his beer.
Does anybody have any idea what Kyle's segment is? Has he disclosed it to anybody?
He's
he has a knack for I got a segment, and then he waits until today to refine it, and then we're like, wait, what?
He was kind of breaking it down, and he mentioned...
He's ready.
Real quick, what's
Assholes.
hold on, real quick. Tony Romo, 2014. What's his completion percentage for the season? You got to guess. You came just in time for shot trivia.
58.
All right, you lose.
Ooh, Jeff with the late minute loser.
But Mock also has to do a shot.
Nope.
Yeah. Hey, who put that Remy Martin thing up on the wall?
Peter, probably.
So out of breath.
From the
Get
stairs?
this man a beer. Get this man a beer. Do you have a toast of excellence?
Put the cooler on the chair, man.
Being notified before 9:30 in the morning.
Kyle. 9:06. I don't know why that was funny.
It is funny though. Kyle does have his shirt partly tucked in.
It is. It's never the same part. Like when he plays softball, it's always like the front right part, like where his hip is. We have to drink 30 of these today.
Let me tell you, there's nothing quite like kind of doing one of these. Rub your eyes, look at the screen of your phone, look at the time, go, hopping in the car. I got here in probably 6 minutes.
I do that every morning.
And now,
I wake up.
I'm ready to just drink beer.
I wake up, I look at my phone, I'm like, 7:03. I'm like, nice. I was like, nothing like finding out you get an extra hour of sleep. You yawn, look at your phone, 11:15. I just lost my job. Yeah, real quick, on my work, just touching myself in the parking lot for 3 hours, lost track of time.
Sorry. So how we doing, folks?
Doing good.
Excellent.
We're doing. Kyle, I like the arm on the cooler. Look, it's good for you.
Thanks.
Would you like to fire a toast of excellence out there?
We'll go to Daddy Hacks. I just saw that on Instagram quick. Cody Bellinger hit a nice home run. You guys familiar with Daddy Hacks?
No.
Really?
Couldn't tell you.
It's pretty much when you just take a swing that's all geared for uppercut power. It's a good look.
So some good launch
MLB's
angle.
got some pretty good
That's right.
captions
Good
out
launch
there.
angle.
It is. It's all launch angle, no fundamentals.
So Eric Jankowski swing, all
it's
wrist.
nice.
Nice. All right, well, we're here. We're here. We're queer. Deal with it. Big Three took a huge loop this week. I don't know if anybody else was watching. Tri-State and Three-Headed Monsters both knocked out. It's crazy. Guess who's coming back, though? Sweet Lou for this third-place game.
Is he?
Sweet Lou said he's guarding Nate Robinson the whole time.
Now, if he just played for in the other game, they would have won.
It's true.
So is there a trophy
Yeah,
for this? Do we know what it looks like yet?
I'm sure we do.
They've already played a season, so yeah.
I didn't see it. I thought
If
this was still the
you
first
win
season.
the Big Three, you don't have to pay for your jerseys next year.
You get to go to Denny's
Any Grand Slam you
on
want.
Ice Cube.
No, it's that whatever team wins gets to do a shot-for-shot remake of the It Was a Good Day video with Ice Cube. Every year.
every year.
Bam, 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 bam.
All
I
right.
like it.
So, Reed, you said you had some ideas for
Yeah,
today.
well, I had some questions I wanted you guys to debate. I'm glad because I had some Saints questions.
Yes, that shirt is terrible.
Dos Equis? Coles. I don't know if Paul, did you get me this shirt?
No,
This is
I got
my-
you the Miller High Life
Yeah,
shirt.
that's right. My mother must have purchased this one for me. So I have some things I wrote down here, some NFL claims, if you will. And I want to know if you guys agree with some of the things I said, and some of it hopefully will spur some debate. I'm hoping. Sometimes this falls by the wayside. But we'll see. Here's the first one.
Strongly disagree.
First claim. Now, I just want to preface this by saying these are not my opinions. This is just a thought I had, hoping to bring up some
Okay,
debate.
so your opinions.
Yep,
Nope.
that's all I
All
heard.
right, here we go. Drew Brees will be third in passing yards this season.
Yeah, I believe so.
Would you like to elaborate a little bit more?
Behind who?
Rodgers and Brady. He's usually third in the league in passing yards. Or
Or when he breaks the record.
yeah, Jeff, I
So
get
I'm going to
it.
say at least third. I'd agree with.
Top three. He's usually in the top three. Is that good?
That's fine.
All right, fine. I'm glad we're on the same page. Jeff agrees with me.
Maybe,
You think he's gonna be lower?
possibly. I mean, we look at last year. It kind of took a swing. The way the
running
offenses
game will be
ran.
just as strong this year.
Why do you say that?
'Cause the reason why Kamara was so good, I think, was because of Ingram.
Who's only missing how many games?
4.
We have Terrence West.
I disagree.
Yeah, you have Terrence West.
Riddler disagrees.
He finishes second.
Second. Who's ahead?
I think so, too.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk?
I think it goes Kirk Cousins, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers.
Flacco, probably. Start the show off with some.
No, and then I think fifth's Eli Manning. I think the Giants are ready to bounce back, and he's got the weapons. to
Listen,
throw.
they stay healthy. He could throw for a lot of yards.
I think Matt Ryan only throws for 76 yards this year. I think he throws a 76-yard touchdown on the opening drive to Julio Jones, and then he trips on the sideline, and he goes face first into Arthur Blank's dick, paralyzing his dick and causing Matt Ryan to go blind.
Wow.
This is one hell of a start.
Not for me.
I
This
think
is
Breeze
bullshit.
finishes second behind Watson.
I do have a bold prediction, though. I think we lose 7 starting quarterbacks by week 6 this year.
Well,
What do you mean by lose?
Draft a bunch
How
of
do we
backups
lose?
when we
Like
do
they
draft.
get injured and they're out
Injuries?
for the season.
God.
I already have my predictions as to who as well.
Don't tell me.
I'd like to hear him. Or do you want to save him?
No. All right. Matt Ryan,
Good. Come on, Cam Newton.
Andy Dalton,
Winston.
That's fine.
Ben.
No.
Go fuck yourself.
Just under his breath.
Can't even look.
Dak Prescott.
No, he didn't do anything enough.
Kyle,
He doesn't.
to not get hurt?
He's gonna hand the ball off the entire
Kyle,
game.
just think about guys like Reggie Bush who get hurt and not even doing anything.
What's his face over there? The Keenum. Case Keenum.
Oh,
And last but not least,
Oh, don't do it.
That's right, Joe Flacco.
whoever's Ben's backup.
Both Steelers QBs go down.
That's fine if it's Landry Jones. Let's let Mason
Nope,
Rudolph
he's the
play.
third option. He's playing, Kyle.
It's going to be Dobson, Kyle.
Nah,
Who?
I don't think
Who?
Big Ben goes
Who'd
down.
you
I
say?
do think
Josh
I think
Dobson?
Ryan goes down.
It's
this year,
Josh Dobbs. It's Dobbs.
I still do this private stock.
It's Greg Dobbs.
All right.
though. I also don't think any quarterback is going to throw for 50 touchdowns this year.
Well, and Kyle, stop playing with that cord there, because if we break that, you'll pay for it. All right.
Well, it's good if you just squeeze a cord with pliers.
Yeah.
That's
Tom Brady will finish with 40-plus touchdowns this year.
No.
no.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you gentlemen care to elaborate?
Bullshit running back touchdowns.
He's got a point there.
He's right, you know.
I don't know. I don't.
Bullshit
think...
running back tight ends. Bullshit. Bullshit running backs. Bullshit tight ends. You can't forget about Chase McFuckface, the 4'2" white receiver that they signed off of the practice squad from the London Silly Nannies, who's going to come out and be the next Julian Edelman. I think it's low 40s, but I think he does it.
Just Tom Brady. That's all I gotta say.
Kyle, I knew you were going to say that because I would also just say that.
I just don't want it to happen, but
All right.
it may.
Bears running backs will lead in all-purpose yards this season.
So you're saying like the Bears will lead in all-purpose yards,
Yeah.
or what do you mean? Like
I was thinking kind of, Cohen, with return yards and as well as whatever rushing receiving he accumulates.
so like Cohen specifically will lead in all-purpose yards.
and whatever Howard has tagged on. I know he's not returning kicks, but
Okay, so like the running back core.
yeah.
If we were to compare all of them, yeah, I could agree with that.
Trying to think around really quick, see what else. But I mean, Cohen we saw last year was a great
Quarterback,
receiving
too.
back, and yeah,
Just about everything.
If a running back throws a touchdown, do those passing yards go to all-purpose yards?
all
Actually,
purpose.
I guess. I don't know. I've never thought of that.
I like Mock's answer better.
They're all purpose. We're talking all purposes.
Nice.
They should.
Souls, care to weigh in? Your opinion matters.
Does it though?
I think the Steelers will have the best offer.
Kyle, it does.
Oh, he
Hey,
does.
is Bell at camp yet?
No, he ain't gonna come back until after week 4.
He ain't going to come back, period.
Kyle, I just want to say something. I feel like you're never excited about my topics. And you're wearing my shirt.
Yeah.
So be excited about my topics.
I am.
You're not the only guy with ideas here.
I'm not saying that. I'm just.
Well, then
trying to
answer
think.
the question. Will the Bears
funny
running
about-
back...
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, then who do you think, or why do you think not?
What's funny about Kyle wearing that shirt? Look how big it is in the sleeves. Now, just imagine how big that's got to be on Kendall.
I was just thinking the same
Yeah.
thing.
That's my painting shirt.
All right, so Kyle, who's gonna lead?
I honestly think Arizona. I think David Johnson's gonna come back and have MVP year, and have close to 2,000 yards
I
rushing.
think he's going to get hurt in the preseason.
Okay.
And
So let's say you think he's going to beat the entire Bears running back team and
We're talking all
all-purpose yards?
and receiving yards as well. He's gonna have a lot.
Okay.
With Sam Bradford, he's probably gonna get targeted like 14 times a game.
Yeah, in the first game, and then Sam Bradford's
And
going to
Josh
be out for the
Rosen's gonna do
season.
the same thing because he's a young quarterback.
Hey,
And Kerwin
I
Williams.
mean, I'm glad you brought an argument, but I don't know.
and
David
Kerwin Williams
Johnson
also
versus-
isn't that bad.
3 all-purpose
Exactly.
type running backs.
What was his name?
Kerwin Williams.
Colonel?
Kerwin.
Colonel Williams.
He's about to have a new favorite player for this Colonel Williams. Forget Captain Mutterland.
I tell you, we should make that player in Madden.
Hey, last night Broncos Bears. Chubb got a safety.
Oh, shout out! I didn't realize that.
I think as much as I hate this, the Patriots can make a run at the all-purpose yard thing. They have 37 running backs. James White returns. Burkhead and White can catch out of the back. They get a lot of yards.
Also, the Lions have a lot of options.
Yeah, but they also haven't had a 100-yard rusher in.
Well, they got
5
Blunt now,
years.
so they're winning the Super Bowl. But you got Riddick returning kicks. Abdul and Riddick both catch passes out of the backfield.
O'Doul?
One could take care of the.
Jewel is going to get hurt.
Guys are forgetting about Benny Cunningham.
Big bad Benny Cunningham.
Benny Cunningham's going to have 27 rushes on the season, and he's going to average 8 yards a rush.
Hey, did D'Angelo Williams officially retire?
Yeah, he's on the TNA roster.
He lost his first match, I'm pretty sure.
Good.
All right. Phillip Rivers will throw less than 30 touchdowns.
False.
No, he will. It'll be way over.
Would you care to elaborate?
He's got tons of weapons this year.
I think that Mike Williams kid is coming back. I think he's going to be good. Keenan Allen, I think, can have another strong season if he stays healthy.
And once they decide to bring Gates back, which they should.
I mean, losing Hunter Henry,
Melvin Gordon
hurt,
pretty cool too.
Melvin Gordon's good. I think Phillip Rivers can. I think they can run away with that division.
They have Brandon Oliver, right? He's still there?
I don't know.
Oh, is that right?
I think the Chargers can run away with that
They
division
have
this
Eckler
year.
now, who's like.
Should I keep doing bold predictions for every one of your things you do?
Sure, we can.
All right, bold prediction: Joey Bosa catches 2 touchdowns in the red zone this season.
That's the old J.J. Watt.
Nah, it's gonna be different. He's just gonna line up as a receiver, and he's gonna walk over the goal line and just put his hands up and just say, "Here I am."
Throw it to me.
Because he's a pretty fucking big guy.
Are you guys satisfied with that Phillip Rivers discussion?
All right.
Odell Beckham Jr. will be receiving touchdown leader.
Disagree.
Also disagree.
I mean, I can see it. I would like it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think he's always going to be the yards guy, not the touchdowns guy.
Well, he was a touchdown guy.
Prove he could last a whole season.
I just think I think for the longevity of the rest of his career, he's going to be a yards guy, not a touchdown guy.
Souls?
Then who leads in touchdowns, do you think?
I don't think it's going to be any of the big name receivers. There's always a receiver that comes out of the woodwork and does something. I mean, last year it was Diggs and Thielen. Were absolutely. I mean, not necessarily just touchdowns, but they were just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all kind. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if Eric Decker led the league in touchdowns this year with Tom Brady. Wouldn't be surprised with that.
That'd make me pretty mad. I wouldn't like that very much.
Souls?
Yeah, Antonio Brown.
Listen, I'm going to agree.
I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. leads. Here's the bold prediction. I don't think Odell Beckham Jr. leads the Giants in touchdowns this year.
Oh.
I think what's-his-face does, the tight end guy, the rookie kid.
Ingram?
Yeah.
He's good.
It's really going to depend on whether or not I draft Beckham. The outcome of his season is very...
Rest on
I was
Jeff's
actually thinking
shoulders.
about making a pact with Jeff. If he was... I'm gonna draft... Since you guys won't let me do the thing I want to do and Kyle's going to make me play, I'm going to draft only Giants and Steelers, and I'm going to casually keep trading them to Jeff.
Dun, dun, dun.
I get so much flack because of Kyle.
So much Flacco, you mean?
Flacco.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
I just been have to sit here and listen to the Steelers get shit on the whole time. All right.
I looked at you when I said it, because I mean it for you.
I know. Jaguars defense will hold offenses under 25 points this season.
No. Jaguars implode. They don't even win the division this year.
25 points is a lot of points.
I was gonna say, that's a lot of points per game, but
Not really.
Well, not in the modern era of football.
25 points isn't that much anymore.
It is for the Steelers.
No, it's not. They scored
No,
25
I'm
points
just
from
fucking
4th and 40 in one quarter last year against the Jaguars.
I think this is going to be the season we see Jalen Ramsey fall off.
Oh, man, that would suck for him so bad.
Yeah, he talks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's like the Joel Embiid of fucking football.
I will disagree. I just don't think they're that good of a defense. I think they played well last year, but I still think there are a lot of holes on that defense. I think Minnesota's the best defense in the league, but that's my opinion.
Jeff,
I remember Kyle ranting and raving about this Jaguars defense last year.
Oh, yeah. No, I think they will. And
Add
fuck
Tannehill at
Minnesota.
safety, they're gold.
Besides that one play,
Fuck
you don't
Minnesota.
hate him.
I do.
Besides that one play.
So do you not
Yeah, 'cause
hate
Skull is
Tim
inferior to
Tebow
Grizzly.
because of that one play?
I just think Tim Tebow's
Oh.
overrated.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't a good passer.
Well, there's a good pass.
Looked
to
great in
Demaryius
overtime
Thomas,
against the
He
Steelers.
threw one fucking pass that got lucky.
and it was
okay?
a strike.
He also had a completion percentage of 14. Anyways,
God, he completed like
14
6 passes that
points.
game. Oh, but he only attempted like 16, so.
All right.
Run heavy.
Run heavy. All right. Here's one that I really liked. I don't know why.
With the Brazzers logo.
The Chiefs.
Brazzers logo?
The Chiefs will start 0-6 to start the season.
I disagree.
I can see it.
Yeah, 1-5, I think.
What? Well,
I had up their opponents and I closed them out, but it's division
Pittsburgh's week
Pittsburgh. I can't remember now, but the 6 games are fairly highly competitive. We're gonna get that up for you right now.
I say no, just because the AFC West always, much like the AFC North likes to play down to their division opponent, the AFC West plays up to their division opponent.
That's fair.
Like I just feel like when you see like when you had like the Peyton Manning Broncos, like the year that they were setting up all those offensive, like they went up against the Chiefs or the Chargers, and the Chargers or the Chiefs or the Raiders, like they played up to the Broncos caliber, and it was a good game. Whereas I don't need to tell you guys that we see the Steelers play Browns quality football when they play the Browns.
so here's their opponents.
Doesn't matter if you win. I get it, you win, but
I'm going to read week 1 through 6. At the Chargers, at Pittsburgh, San Fran, at Denver, Jacksonville, at New England.
Yeah, they could definitely.
I say 3-3.
They split.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Mahomes.
Jimmy G's
I
gonna
think they go
torch him.
1-5 or 2-4.
I think Mahomes will be all right. The Chiefs always play the Chargers very well. Denver, I think Denver's kind of past whatever window they had. And I think they'll beat the 49ers.
Even with Garoppolo?
I'm not sold on him.
Well,
We'll see this year. I mean, he can prove me
that
wrong
guy
this
said he
year,
was
but-
better than Tom Brady. And he goes out with adult actresses, in the film industry.
as
Indie
opposed to
film,
adult
right?
actors in the music industry.
All right, here's one. I just put it in. Josh Allen will be starter by halfway point of the season.
Josh Allen will be started by week 1. McCarron's already hurt.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Didn't go the way you
Stop.
wanted it to there, did it, gang?
That happened yesterday, though.
I would say that
Doesn't
happened
matter.
last night.
But it doesn't.
I thought McCarron would have been.
Here's the deal. If Kyle posed this question, we'd be making him drink private stock. So Kendall's got to drink the private stock.
I think Josh Allen would have been started by week 2 or 3 anyways. I don't know.
I'll drink the private stock, but would you?
I would think so.
Yeah.
There's so much praise for him in Buffalo right now.
Praise.
Brother Souls, preach for us.
We want Allen.
All right.
Imagine that being the church sermon.
Be more of a cult type.
I feel like the
Good morning, everybody.
I feel like the Bills are missing a huge opportunity to like have their defense come out to like the Dudley Boys theme song, and then just like get the tables, like that's just
Because it's one of those things I think that the NFL can't officially endorse, but they're really happy it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
the Bills can endorse it though.
But I don't think they can, because all it's going to take is one guy to go through it and be like, well, they are able to do it, and I got hurt, so I'm suing now.
Well, no, they're not going to go through tables. I'm just saying, like, tons of teams in the past have embraced culture that's outside of.
I don't know.
And the Browns with their losing culture.
Yeah, the Browns are literally saying, "Hey, we'll give the Browns organization is saying we will give you guys Bud Light if we win."
That's an NFL sponsor.
Even though they've had players.
Yeah, but the NFL can't.
Kill
The NFL
people
can't endorse
by
giving
drunk
booze.
driving.
That's why John Gruden had to give up his
Stallworth.
Corona sponsorship,
I mean,
and that's why Tony Romo is now the face of Corona.
You didn't think of that, did you, Souls?
Forgot about him.
Oh, wait. Why can't the NFL... They do the Bud Light cans. That's endorsing.
Yeah, but giving like the booze thing, like they're not supposed to endorse booze like that.
I think it's a low
I can't-
look for the Browns. to
well, I
do
think they
that.
can't have a spokesperson.
They also can't endorse like giving away free beer. Like that's just not a thing you can do.
I just love that picture. 'cause
Like nobody can do that. That's just illegal.
It's
So
got a
I don't
chain
know where's
around
that
it.
cooler even at. I don't think it's in the stadium.
I think it's in the players' lounge because they all get DUIs. I went through a list of Browns players that get DUIs. It started with Stallworth, who we all know killed someone, and it just went down for years.
Oh, Jay.
It's in the locker room. Yeah, we won. Open that thing.
Who's sitting out next week?
I have a couple of stats here, and you guys are going to pick which stat is probably most likely for this player. I only have four.
What if I don't want to?
Well, you're going to.
All right.
I have four, and then hopefully maybe you guys can come up with some.
Nah,
either next,
this is
next
your
show
thing.
or-
You ever notice when Kendall does a segment, it's like, I did half of it, and I want you guys to try to do the rest while we do this.
Well, I mean,
No, just do it.
I want everyone
Just
involved.
do
Real quick,
All
there's
right.
one time in high school I did the whole entire project.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
And,
You walked out on us.
They came in the last minute. And took
We were
all
the only
credit.
group that was not
You know-
allowed to perform their group project.
I'll give Jeff some credit if he could tell us what the project was really about.
It was about The golden
But
ratio.
what would the golden ratio?
I don't fucking
Neither
know.
do we. All right.
Exactly. Do you guys remember?
We got a
I
70
don't like the
on
way
that.
you said that, though.
That's where we put
I just
plies
want
in
to
it.
we weren't able to perform our group. I think it's present.
No. They had a skit.
Oh, ours is a performance.
Kyle had.
I also had to
I
perform.
spent hours in the library doing this.
I don't think I've ever disclosed this, but now's the perfect time with Kendall here. I wish Kendall and you all came to my high school because there was a special class called American Studies that we took, and if you took it, it was a 1-hour class that met every day, and it was your history and your English class combined, and all kinds of historical literature and all that shit. So at the end, you know what your final was? No papers, no test. Everybody had to get up and make their own historic version of "We Didn't Start the Fire," and you had to sing it in front of the entire class.
All right, I'm listening.
I would have loved for Kendall to have been a part of that.
I wish I thought of the Browns are a dumpster fire. That's golden. We had to do something similar. Jeff and we had to do a rap song about mollusks.
Yes, we got standing O's. All the girls wanted us, man.
Was that because now everyone stood up and went, "Oh"?
No.
Do you think you can recite
these
it?
guys.
We did it over to Get Like Me. I
We
remember
had, what's his name?
Joe
Schufelt?
Sullivan.
No. Joe. He played basketball on Weber. 3-point machine. Tall kid.
Joe?
Joe something.
Oh, Joe.
Joe O. It wasn't O'Sullivan. It was Joe O. something.
Joe O'Reilly.
No.
All right.
Joe O'Neill. Joe O'Neill.
Might
That
have
sounds
been
right.
Might have been.
Oh, yes.
Us.
Yes.
He did his verse.
Dad drafted me.
I don't think
the
he was
stats.
as excited about us,
No.
but
Kyle goes,
he
his
laid down
dad
the verse.
drafted me, then traded me.
I got traded to.
Pulled the old 76ers.
I got traded back to Jeff's team.
One of the lines was, "You can catch me underwater filter feeding all day." I remember that specifically, but I can't think of anything else.
This is a hard song.
Anyways, let's hear these things.
All right. Well, let's close out of it. Russell
these
Wilson.
things.
So you're going to pick which one
I don't
is
wanna
most
do this
likely.
one.
Russell Wilson, 3,800 yards, 39 touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns.
10 rushing touchdowns.
God.
Only because he's going to be running for his life.
10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yards.
Would any of you guys care to elaborate?
Because he's going to be running for his life.
The Seahawks are going to be really bad, and he's just going to have to run like crazy.
I don't understand why they won't fix their offensive line. Like, they refuse to do it.
Pete Carroll believes in his players.
Bad choice.
Doesn't believe in Marshawn.
No, he doesn't.
Lattimore.
Lattimore. All right.
Jeff just made that such a funny face.
Alvin Kamara, 650 rushing yards or 650 receiving yards, under, over for both.
Over both.
Over. Ass.
I think over rushing 650 sounds right for receiving.
Over receiving, under rushing.
Vice versa. I think receiving is just about right. Over for rushing.
That's what I just said.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
But you said vice versa. Are we talking
To me.
Oh. Apology.
I'm going to be honest. I thought he was talking to Kyle also because he was looking that way. But
He
then
looked right at me.
But then he
You
said
know,
the
I
same
don't-
thing. And I was just like,
They,
oh.
they listen with their eyes.
It's the Maple connection.
But he was just like, vice versa, bitch. You tell me you want to come at me?
How many yards did he rush for last year?
I have no idea.
Hey, Kyle.
We're on the same page.
Kyle,
I don't know why you're coming
Kyle,
at me.
Kyle, could you throw me
I'm
another,
not.
Could you throw me another Clifford?
Ah,
He locked it.
good on Paul.
No, it's backwards. He's trying to open it from the hinges.
I wish we had a video.
It's like it was welded shut.
I hate my life today.
Oh, Kyle, I love you.
Since you got that practice, want to send one this way?
Yeah, he had 728 yards last year, and that's consider
Oh,
Mark
I forgot
Ingram
too,
was the
Ingram's
whole
suspended.
season. Yeah,
I forgot
he's
Ingram's
gonna
suspended.
rush for 1,000
Wow,
yards.
who did that?
Did what?
I don't know. I just got a pretty good whiff of some egg. Some butt egg.
Was there syrup in it?
I don't know anything.
Must be Rebecca's feet.
I say over on both.
Over on both?
Yeah.
All right. DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, I got one. Hold on.
Ooh,
I got
you
one.
got one?
I got one. All right. Now, none of these will happen. But which one's most likely to happen? All right. Drew Brees throws for under 200 yards in a game with no touchdowns and 6 picks. Drew Brees has a perfect passer rating with over 500 yards and 8 touchdowns. Or Drew Brees rushes for 55 yards in a game.
The second one, because he did that to the Giants.
Nah, I didn't do that. 8 touchdowns is a lot. Even Nick Foles couldn't do that.
What did he have? Or no, did he have
The record
7?
is 7.
He had 7.
No, I don't think he ever hit 7. I don't think he's part of that record group. I think it's Big Dick Nick and...
Peyton Manning.
I thought he had 7.
I think it was 6.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Was it?
I'll look it up. I'm on it.
Well, he had a good game, all right?
Yeah, it dropped like 49 points. So.
I think
But a perfect passer rating is keto. Is keto right there.
And we all thought the same thing was going to happen last year.
Yep, and it did not.
It was 13-10.
I think the 55 yards is most likely.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
We're time for a player, especially a guy his age, to do something like that.
It's going to be on one run, too.
He's gonna find a little lane. He's gonna take off. He's gonna stiff arm somebody right to the
Get a
ground.
big block from someone.
And then he's gonna have to sit out for a play because he lost his helmet.
Yeah, he had 7.
You had 7?
7 in November 1st, 2015.
Against the Giants?
This doesn't say 7.
That was a bad day for me.
This one doesn't say 7.
That was a real bad day for me.
This is 49.
That was a real bad day.
That was
Ken.
a fantastic. That was hilarious. So
Let's
I
not even
just
talk
remember
about it
checking
anymore.
that scoreboard.
That was
and it
well. It was funny.
Oh, they scored.
It was funny because at first the Saints were up by like 4 touchdowns. I'm like, all right, this one's washed. Then we look again and like, oh, it's 41-41.
Good old Saints defense.
Still 8 touchdowns, though. That last that's a big one. And you got to get the perfect passer rating.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Completion percentage is key, and Drew Brees, not always the greatest for completions. He throws a lot of passes, so there's a lot of incompletes. I'm not saying he's terrible, but sometimes
He throws a lot of ridiculous interceptions sometimes, though.
No, they always get tipped. He's the king of the receiver.
I agree with
Or
that.
he throws it lefty. We
I
saw
say
that.
55
That
yards.
was a one-time thing, and
Yeah,
every
still.
quarterback does that.
I say
You were
55
laughing
yards
your
because
ass off that
I
day.
think that Drew Brees is much like a Peyton Manning when it comes to rushing. Very seldom does he break past the line of scrimmage.
Oh, it's funny when he does.
But when he does, it's like for 35 yards. I could see him breaking
And
it
the
up.
play last
The funniest
48
running quarterback
seconds.
ever, though, is Eli Manning. Oh, deer in headlights. Deer in
He's
headlights.
like, and then he dives head first.
But no matter how terrible of a runner he is, he'll never be able to beat his brother's game of, breaking off a 35-yard run and then fucking sliding at the 1-yard line.
Yes. It's funny when you see that replay. He gets
so
so mad.
So mad. But he redeemed himself by running the best quarterback sneak ever.
Is that the fake and he kicks out to the left?
Yeah. The rollout.
Yeah.
I like when he holds the ball up in the air, like, ha
The whole camera was full. Everybody was full. They were just like,
The announcer, I forget who was announcing, but they're just like, oh, Peyton kept the ball.
everyone was confused, and then immediately you just hear out of the woodwork, it wasn't an NBC game, and now here's a guy that knows how to run the end around to himself.
Remember when Ben used to be able to run? Then he got fat.
I mean, he can still kind of run
Kyle,
laterally.
here's the thing. It's easy to keep off the pounds when you're sexually assaulting women, but
You know
once
what,
you
though? He
cuff
won
one,
2 Super Bowls that way, so let's pretend that it happened again.
You know who
I
can move
don't know
pretty
if you
well?
want to be endorsing that.
You know who moves pretty well for a quarterback? Joe
Nice.
Flacco.
No, he doesn't. Go fuck yourself.
Very agile.
God, he is relatively mobile for a bigger guy.
God, he sucks
I mean, let's
so
think
bad.
about last year. He had a great run, and then he got met with a helmet,
And honestly,
Yeah.
and he was dead.
I
purple
love
security
Purple
in
Heart.
yellow in all aspects.
Actually, no, I even felt bad for him at that point.
Listen, you want to be rooting for Joe Flacco to do good enough because what's his name? He's going to take his job and take that division.
Lamar.
Yeah.
I think Lamar's
Mark my
going to be
words.
good.
Kiko Alonso put a
You know
big
what's
hit
going to
on
happen?
Joe.
Lamar will get the starting position, and then none of those guys will be there, and the offense will just be horrible, and it would be just him, and they'll have wasted him.
Well, no. Because if they get rid of Flacco, there's like $800 million that you can now
Well, I'm
spend
talking
on
about,
offense.
like, let's say Flacco plays for 3 more years or whatever.
I don't think Flacco's a Raven after this season.
No?
No.
Unless he leads him to another Super Bowl.
Nah. Joe Flacco. Patriots win the
Kyle's
Super
face.
Bowl. Brady retires. Flacco to the Patriots. Flacco beats the Steelers in the AFC Championship game for the next 17 years.
Oh, my God.
I'm moving to South America.
Don't worry,
No-
they get
no
football down
internet
there.
Or cable.
It's just called American throw ball.
Kendall's going to be hanging out in the rainforest.
Yeah.
Is Flacco still around?
You just see Kendall licking toads like Family Guy. Rebecca would like each of us to take one of these llamas and throw it away.
No. Why do we have llamas?
What was the one you had there, Reader?
DeAndre Hopkins. Which stat most likely? 1,500 yards.
Wait, who?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Nuck.
1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 97 receptions.
11 touchdowns.
You're gonna put somebody. You're gonna put 11 touchdowns in the same category as 1,500 yards. I don't know. I don't know.
11 touchdowns will definitely happen.
I don't know about that.
With Deshaun Watson back, yeah.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know.
So what you guys are saying is that this was a good question. So
I
talk about
think,
yourself.
I didn't hear the third one.
I think all of it could happen.
1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns,
97 receptions.
97
Kevin
receptions.
Walters, the best complimentary receiver.
Kevin Walter's been out for a long time.
97 receptions,
what are
I
you
think,
talking
is going to be the easiest one for him to get without a doubt.
He had like 10.
I think he'll definitely get the receptions. I think he'll have the touchdowns. The yards, 1,500 that's a lot.
So would you guys think, though, that more than one of these is very possible for him to do?
I think essentially they're all very possible, but I think the yards might be the hardest one.
If Watson can stay healthy all year, I think he'll get all three of those.
They're not going to have Savage this year.
Which is a good thing for them.
Savage.
No,
Hold on.
you
Is
serious?
DeAndre Hopkins
Again.
allowed to use his alien-looking technology?
He is.
No, then yeah, he'll get them all.
Because,
That
Savage
guy
is
looks
now
like
playing with Jeff.
that guy looks like a xenomorph.
But hope Bree stays healthy.
Savage is the future of New Orleans football.
Are you happy to
Yeah,
say
not till
that
he gets a
to yourself?
backup quarterback.
You should be
Verizon
happy to
commercial.
say that. Savage Nation, baby. Real quick, the receiver there always gets hurt. Is he still there for Houston? I can't remember his name.
Will Fuller?
Fuller. Is he still on that roster?
Yeah.
Now, when he's healthy, that's a guy who kind of gets a lot of attention. Do you think if he's healthy, does that influence?
No, because Will Fuller's only a deep threat.
Yeah.
He's
Not
right.
really much of anything else.
No.
Hey, you got me 12 points 1 week, and then I cut him.
I think this is a season we're going to see Hopkins. As long as Watson is on the field, I think Hopkins is going to have a monster season.
We had a monster here with Savage.
Exactly.
Savage.
Look at that.
Yeah, so
The
put
monster
some
and
respect
Savage.
on Tom Savage's name.
But the thing was, he did target
Looks
DeAndre
it
Hopkins
off.
49 times a game.
But let me ask you this: would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you're no better than Savage.
I'm not saying he was wrong for it.
Fred said.
I just said that he was. That's all he did. I think the 49ers game was on, and you could literally see Savage hike the ball and looked right at Hopkins the entire time. Hike, and then there he is.
I wouldn't even look at my other options.
It's like, all right, DeAndre, make something happen. Make me look good. Or I'm going to throw a pick again. And then either one would happen.
I think that's how
Now
Savage
he gets
talks.
to hold field goals, which is awesome. He'll probably fuck that up at some point.
And Savage, he boots that one.
And he throws a pick.
just stands up and throws it.
Could
Every
be good
time.
for a couple fake field
Who
goals.
finishes with more yards this season, Keenan Allen or T.Y. Hilton?
T.Y. Hilton.
If Luck is there, Hilton. If Luck is not there, Keenan Allen.
Hilton.
I think the Hilton Luck combo is primed to.
I think
bounce
Luck
back
is
this
going to be insane this year.
For 2 games,
Nope.
and then he's going to get hurt.
They bolstered that offensive line.
Just a good Matt
Nice.
Stafford.
But
Matt
here's
You know
the
why
thing.
he's not? You know why he hasn't been at the games? Because he's dating Kendall's neighbor.
That's
Here's the
funny.
thing. They bolstered the line. That's
They
good.
look a lot alike.
But Luck has already gotten so hurt that, really, he may be a hit away.
For a second.
It's
He's going to need a lot of luck.
Boo.
This side of the table knows when the private stock's coming.
Whoa,
I don't know. I just have this feeling that Luck is going to be an MVP type player this year.
I like Andrew Luck. I want to see him come back and be good again. And him and Hilton had that great, that connection. I think he can have a good season.
And Jack Doyle.
Yeah, well,
Jack Doyle rules.
You still believe in Sam Bradford, so it's the same guy, just better
Luck's better than Bradford.
when he plays.
Yeah.
They both suck because they don't play.
I got
He's about to be
one more
sick.
for you guys.
Luck will be hurt in week 3.
One more. Jim Graham. 700 yards,
ACL tear,
9 touchdowns, 6
MCL tear.
receptions.
Achilles tear.
Can you say those all again?
700 yards, 9 touchdowns, 60 receptions.
I
What's
think
most
all
likely?
3 of those.
Nah, everything but the receptions.
Everything but receptions?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw
doesn't
55
throw
targets
tight
to his tight ends. He only throws it. Jim Graham is going to be a
Throws to
deep
the
threat
number
and a
2
red zone
tight end.
option only. Jim Graham is he's not going to be the guy that Aaron Rodgers is looking to on 3rd and 8 ever. He's never going to look to him.
The only
doesn't
thing,
block.
unless they use him in more of like a receiving.
I still don't think so.
Just use him better than Seattle did. That's all they have to do.
Here's the thing, though. Seattle didn't use him poorly in the last season. They didn't. They didn't. Russell Wilson had no
He
time.
dropped everything.
Russell Wilson had no time, and realistically, he was the only red zone threat.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an option. If the Seahawks got inside the 20, you double team Graham and you do single coverage on everybody else and you take that chance. Because who else on that team was a red zone threat? Nobody.
Nobody.
And when you were playing at any other part of the field, Graham is a route running tight end. He's not a sit in and block guy, and he's not a dump out to the flat or run an in route. He's an actual route runner like Gronk. And if you don't have the time to let him set up his route, he's not going to get the receptions. And Russell Wilson, by the time Jim Graham would run a 10-yard in route.
James Graham.
He would be halfway. You watch your fucking mouth. He would be halfway to his cut, and Russell Wilson is already probably 30 yards upfield because he was about to get murdered.
You know, the Saints ran him a lot too as a wide receiver. A lot of the plays they'd have him motion from tight end to single on one of the sides. The other receivers lining up in trips, and it worked. He's not a cornerback. He's a monster.
That's what I mean. If the
And-
Packers use him kind of in that capacity.
I'm just saying, Jim Graham, he hasn't performed as well since he hasn't been able to dunk the football.
This is true. I
He
mean,
can
that's
do
a
it now,
big
can he?
confidence.
Or is that still
No, that's still
illegal?
super illegal.
This is a joke.
That had nothing to do with touchdown celebrations. It had to do with him bending the fucking goalpost and them having to stop the games.
Or he can dunk a player.
No, you
Dunk
can't touch
a
the
ball.
goalpost.
He doesn't have to.
I'd
He'll
love to see-
He'll lay up Aaron Jones.
They bring out like a hoop, like out of like the
Dwight Howard, 12-foot hoop.
Breaks his hand, dunks.
So that was the last one I had for you guys.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Well, folks, it was great.
Well, I mean, I could come up with some
just
more. I know we got a break coming up soon. That's why.
Well, and the new format is it's going to be an hour on, hour off for 5 hours. 3 hours of talking.
Well, I think Kyle was going to sing though,
We're
wasn't
going
he?
to take a nice hour break. Kyle, can you sing us a little tune?
Nobody.
You can't take
Very
Jeff's
original. Very original.
I'm the one that actually liked that song.
Really? Because I just showed my appreciation for the song.
Yeah, you
I
like
thought he was going to say I showed my penis.
I love Keith Sweat.
What do you think? Time to break.
Oh, we can take a break. Well,
I want
Take a break. When we come back, we'll do Riddler's rankings.
Nobody, baby.
We should have Facebook Live up, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll do
Facebook Live. I believe Solze has a segment prepared.
Got it.
You
Yeah.
just got to remember it.
And, yeah, we'll be back. More sports, more Red Dog. Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by...
Kyle.
That's it, just Kyle.
And
Why,
Mike.
why did you do that?
Why?
Why did you jump the gun and change the order?
Well, he wasn't going to say our names.
I never do.
He was going to say asshole, so I said Kyle. So it kind of works out.
You're going to jail.
I apologize to all.
Sit-ups now.
No.
All right, so we're back in the second hour of 3. We ran out of things to talk about, so we'll see you next week. Riddler's rankings.
I gave you your topic.
Yep. Jeff, you got to come up with a clever name for your own segment to have next hour because we can't do Riddler's rankings twice.
Well, you could probably do Souls
Martin
next hour.
You guys will be gone,
Martin Matinee.
Oh, that's true.
which means private stuff.
The topic I gave you, Riddler. Your top 5 all-time favorite Green Bay. No, Chicago Bears.
Ooh, okay.
I thought you were
Top
saying
5
Green
Green Bay
Bay.
Packers. Urinal number 1. The trough in the men's room. The trough in the ladies' room. No, top 5 Bears all time. All right. In specific order from 5 to 1. It go unbelievable. No, top 5 Bears all time. It goes Devin Hester number 5, Olin Kreutz number 4, Matt Forte number 3, Charles Tillman number 2, Brian Urlacher number 1.
Kreutz.
Kreutz's Fish Market.
that's right. the greatest.
Another failed business by Kendall.
I just couldn't get it off the ground.
Is that a fat joke?
No. What? I had to take a business class.
Also, we're Facebook Live.
That's right.
Facebook Live. Go now.
We are live.
We're live.
Mock's not, though.
I'm sharing it.
I was the only senior. Well, that's not true. There was one other senior who had to take the final.
I despise. Anybody else despise the captions that Kendall puts on the videos? They're all just so terrible.
I also had to take the final.
What?
Moving on.
Me and Kendall were talking. Kendall was
Kendall
talking.
9. Private stock. Bad grammar.
Please.
Private stock for...
Ooh, shout out to Mike Mock for tuning in, and Jeff Martin. Kendall,
Hello, Jeff Allen. Good morning to you.
That was real. Well, sounded like it'd be a sound effect, but that was real.
A lot of good ones today. During the break, I ripped a pretty mean one right after you left. I left probably like a 7-second duration burp and then farted immediately after.
Nice. You got to sneeze at the same time.
Burp snort. Burp snort. All right, so K Quick Souls, Milwaukee, Mojito, Gilberto. You have a segment for us.
I do, and it's called Souls of Sleepers.
No.
Say it with your chest.
No. You can't do that.
Sleeping
Souls of Sleepers would be like a weekly segment thing.
Well, I think that's what he wants to do.
Is that what you wanted to do? Is you want to do weekly sleepers
Yeah.
for fantasy?
Well, fantasy's coming.
So then you should make that your. But that should be for when fantasy. Like I thought this was just sleepers
Like, this is sleepers, yeah, right now.
for basketball.
Yeah.
So if
But like, and when week 1 happens, it's going to be
Souls
sleepers.
of sleepers.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not Souls of sleepers now.
Souls is kind of sleepers.
Future sleep.
Souls of sometimes sleepers.
This is Souls' assumptions, I guess we could call it that.
All right. What's your segment?
I'm in pain right now thinking.
Well, this one is going to be Souls' assumptions.
All right.
All right,
What is it?
Moving on.
Well,
So how long is the assumption series going to last?
Hey, Pete.
Well, Paul gave me the topic of picking 3 teams from the East and West that are sleepers to make the playoffs, and 1 team that's a sleeper to make the championship.
So let's hear
Right,
it.
so obviously, from the West, it
jerk
excludes teams like Golden State and Houston
In LA.
and LA. Nah, I don't think
I excluded LA just because it's
LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. And then from the East, it excludes teams like,
Cleveland and Toronto.
I think, and Philadelphia.
Where's Boston?
Kyle's going to say
I
no
meant
because he
Boston.
wants to
I
say
meant-
that.
He wants to say Philly. I think it's Toronto, Boston, and Philadelphia should make the cut.
I meant Boston and said Cleveland.
I think it should be Boston, Toronto, and
I'm
Philadelphia.
just so used to Cleveland being there. Get off my back.
All right.
All right. From
Come
the
on.
East, I have the Pistons, the Bulls, and the Hornets.
All right. The Hornets, really?
Yeah.
this
I
will
think
be interesting.
the Rockets really ain't that bad. It's just, they pay a lot of bad contracts, but I still think that team has the potential to become an 8 or 7 seed.
All right. I like the Bulls.
The Bulls are a very young team that can sneak their way in there. Cause,
I like that.
It's very weak on the bottom.
I like that.
And then the Pistons have Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. That should
Yeah,
be
that
enough.
worked out real well.
Dude, they sucked before Blake Griffin got there.
Still sucks.
I think they can find a way at the bottom of the barrel.
Pete started early this week. 10-1.
Rebecca, stop saying hi to everybody that comes on our feed.
Yeah, don't make me say shut up. Anyway, from the West, I have the Grizzlies, the Suns, and the Clippers. I think the Grizzlies were just torn apart by injuries last year. And I think they have the potential to come
no
back.
chance.
Of which one?
The Grizzlies.
That's not true. They have the best chance out of all 3 of those.
There's no chance.
You have Marcus Gasol and Mike Conley coming back. You have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's going to be a stud. Yes.
Anthony Bennett.
Not to like it's
Is it?
NBA related, but it's not sleeper related. Did any of you guys see the video of Ayton and Mamba doing jamming out to "Call Me Maybe"?
Yeah.
During the photo shoot, very funny, very very funny. I'm pretty sure together they weigh about 65 pounds, but very funny.
I think the Suns have a centerpiece with Booker and...
Kyle, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think about Rebecca's ability to talk on the microphone?
Not well. Anyways,
There you go, Peter.
Mission accomplished.
Peter and I were talking. I think we're going to set up like a celebrity boxing match between you and him.
Oh, yes.
All proceeds are going to go to
PPRN.
PPRN. Okay.
Now, Peter, here's the thing. I just want you to, Kyle's more of a celebrity than you. I'm just only because of the amount of people that he knows. It's uncanny how many people Kyle knows.
and then in the championship, I got the...
Well, hold on. Let's talk about the sleepers. Okay, you're just throwing out all these teams.
I'm trying to do it quickly.
Why?
We have an hour to talk about this.
The fuck's the rush?
Okay. Why don't you agree with the Grizzlies then?
Because they were a terrible team last year. Marc Gasol's old. They have no leadership. He's proven he can't be a leadership. All they have is Mike Conley, who's always hurt as well. And we're trusting a rookie. That's it.
Mark and Powell never played together, right?
They didn't for like a year or two.
Was it? Okay, I wasn't sure if Powell went to the Lakers when that happened.
The Grizzlies have the better chance of becoming a 7 or 8 seed.
No.
Yes, they do.
They showed all their flaws last year, and drafting
They
one
were
guy
also
is not going to help.
They were also playing kids that didn't deserve to play there.
What does that mean?
What that mean is that they were playing a bunch of G League guys because they had to fill the rosters.
Okay, so how is that going to be the team that's going to
Because
be
they
more
have-
likely to make the playoffs?
Because they have all their stars.
You have an
coming back.
injury-prone point guard who's hurt every
Okay,
single
but
year and not worth a
he's still
dime of
back.
his contract. You have a center who is not a leader, proven not a leader, and declining.
Okay.
And you have a rookie that is going to mesh how?
He's a 3-and-D type player
How is he going to mesh?
because he's taking the physical
With
aspect.
the G League guys that come in?
First of all,
We still talking Clips, right?
no, we're talking Grizzlies.
Oh.
Clippers. I just had to throw a team in there. I don't agree with that.
Oh.
I couldn't think of any other team.
Oh, so you're a fraud then.
Well, so am I right in assuming that you think Ayton is going to make that big of a deal for the Suns?
I do.
Because I'm saying I'm not doing it to call you out. I'm just saying you've gone on record several times saying you don't think Devin Booker is a lead the team type player.
I don't think Devin Booker can do it alone.
So you think him and Ayton together could
And
do
I-
it?
and I think,
I mean,
like-
not make a run, but maybe
Yeah.
finish 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel like the Suns are a team that can really jump this year. Hopefully that Josh Jackson, like, his ability has increased.
Yeah. Throw me a Clifford when you get a chance.
Yeah.
Me as well.
Yeah, make it a 3.
As well.
Come on, hand him out.
Oh, Souls, you got to get a Clifford for yourself. It's gonna be really good for you drying out your mouth talking so much, you know.
How many people do you think are on the side of the table?
Just fucking take it. It's easier this way.
We should probably stop handing dripping beers.
Here.
I should turn on that microphone that the cooler's sitting in and pretend it's like a guest.
What do you think about the Clippers?
I disagree.
And the Clippers is just, I couldn't think of another West team because it's such a big drop off after like the first 4.
Remember earlier when I asked who made that egg fart smell? I think it's when we cracked the beers open. I just cracked mine and I got egg fart.
Red Dog.
Yep.
Cliffords. The Cliffords.
And the championship teams are
No. We
more
didn't talk about
fun.
the East yet.
Oh, okay. I thought
So
we did.
here's the thing. I 100% agree with you about the Bulls. I think that they could very easily sneak their way into a 7 or 8 seed. I don't know if I'm sold on forgot the other one you said.
Charlotte,
No.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Detroit.
I'm not sold in Detroit at all.
The only reason I say it is because I think that Drummond and Blake are going to have great years. I just don't think they're going to have the. Because here's the thing.
I don't think it's going to translate to wins.
Well, and the thing too is with Drummond being such a lockdown like defender and rebounder type guy inside, Blake Griffin's best defensive quality is blocks, and I don't think he's going to get to do that as much. His steal numbers will go up because he's very athletic. I say pretty athletic. He's very athletic, and I think that I think they're both going to have really good years. I think they both make an All NBA team. Second or third, and or defensive, whatever. I just don't know if the depth is there.
Well, I have a lot of faith in their guards. I think Stanley Johnson is better this year, and I think Reggie Jackson actually holds up to his potential.
Hawks had a chance to finish 1 seed, but then they got rid of Melo.
The Hawks could easily
He's the
make it
best
too.
defender. But he's the best defender.
Looks like J-Mart has something to say.
I'm just laughing at the Hawks could easily make it too. I want everyone to remember he said word for word. The Hawks can
they're an 8
easily,
No.
easily make it.
Oh.
Easily make the playoffs.
That's
yeah, they
what he
can.
said.
I thought you were.
He just
I
said-
thought you misheard him. I thought you meant easily make it to the 2 seed. and I was like, no.
He
they
said the
can't do
Hawks
that.
can easily make the playoffs. Well,
They can't.
if they can, then how come they haven't for the last?
Such a sinister laugh.
Well,
He's the only person that can do that just off the cuff.
why haven't they? Because last year was a rebuilding
So
year.
you trust that Trey Young?
No, I
is-
trust the other players.
What other players?
Josh Collins,
Okay.
Kent Bazemore. I think they're better than a lot of other players.
Kent Bazemore's been there.
Yeah, but he's never with the number 1 option.
He's still not.
He is now.
No, he's not.
Who is?
You think the Magic will make
Exactly. Trey Young is the number 1 option.
Think the Magic make it?
Trey Young.
No.
it? Really?
Magic suck.
But you don't think
their draft picks make no sense to me. They didn't need to go get Mo Bamba. They didn't need to get Jonathan Isaac the year before. They needed a point guard, and they refused
trust
to
the
get
process,
one.
Kyle.
They refused to get a point guard.
Also, real quick, talk about that. I was like, keep seeing these things popping up, best nicknames in NBA. Why are people calling Joel Embiid the process? He's not the process. The whole team is the fucking process.
Yeah,
He's not the process.
With him.
No, it didn't. It all started with like Nerlens Noel. That was the beginning of the process.
That was a bullshit part of the process.
Doesn't
We had to
matter.
trade
It was
Drew Holiday
part of the
for him.
process.
It was a stupid move.
I agree with you. I could have had Drew.
Would you consider Ish Smith part of the process?
You can shut your face.
Well, I thought as a fan you would have.
Did you see the fake swole video photo of Ish Smith?
He's on the Pistons, so have my back.
The Ish Smith one was so funny. The Devin Booker one's also very funny.
Like you talk about how much you love the guy. Have my back on this one.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So say something about Ish Smith on the Pistons.
I mean, he could be a
Pistons
good guy off the bench.
Suck.
Also, have you guys seen the photo that was cycling around about the Antetokounmpo brothers? And then they photoshopped Mike Bibby into it.
Leaning on one of them.
That's so funny.
It looks real.
You got anything to say about
I think the Magic could be a sleeper, Kyle. I really do.
I just think they suck.
I think they could be a sleeper team though that worked because the thing was the East is so wide open too. I think they could be a sleeper. I mean, 8 seed at best.
It doesn't make sense to me that you have Bamba and Vucevic.
Vucevic is
yeah, but
soft.
the thing is, but I think that they could.
So trade them. You don't need 2 centers.
But I think the Magic have just as much of a chance of making the 8 seed as the Hornets do. Honestly,
I just don't see it.
outside of Kemba Walker, the Hornets don't really have any depth at doing anything great. It's just all role players.
And also, they don't have Dwight this year, so he can't hold them down. That's what he does to teams. Cody Zeller's back at 5.
All right, so what do you got for your anybody else care to chime in on playoff sleepers?
Just laughing at the Hawks still.
Okay.
You'll find
Easily, he
You'll
says.
see.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, Souza. You'll see.
They're better than the Knicks.
Guaranteed.
Oh, hold on. Now we're into it. So, they're better than the Knicks how? Record-wise? Have they been?
I'm not saying record-wise.
Have they been the worst team in the East?
We just made an executive decision to go to 4
for
hours
1
today.
year.
Okay, so
they
they're
were
coming
bad.
off...
They were bad last year and made the playoffs like the
All right,
7 years before.
hold on.
When's
So
the last
they're-
time New York made the playoffs?
We're talking about next year. I don't know what you're going back
I
for.
think Atlanta's better than the Knicks.
How?
Because they have better
Just
talent.
for reasons. I'm yelling.
You have
What better talent?
You have Kevin Knox. Okay.
Okay.
Who else is like Porzingis isn't going to be there this year? Probably.
Okay. Even without Porzingis, I still think we have a better 5.
Hardaway sucks. I'm sorry.
If the Bulls
Really?
sign Johnny Sins, do they
He's
win
not
the
worth that
championship?
$78 million.
So who's the
contract.
2 guard that they have that
You
you're
know,
going to put
I
over
thought that
Tim
would get
Hardaway?
Jeff,
I'll go
but it
down the
didn't.
line with you right now.
Okay. You think Frankie's better than Trae Young?
No, but I think Frank's going to D-up Trae Young. Trae Young's going to be a bust, hands down.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was a reach. They could have had Doncic. They have Trae Young.
They could have Doncic, but I don't think Trae Young's a bust.
Mark, do you care to weigh in?
We'll see.
I'm liking this. I'm waiting for one of them to take their shirt off.
How many wins did the Hawks have last year?
Not many. I don't
19.
remember.
Okay, so they're better than the Knicks, though. I mean, because the Knicks didn't have KP last year either, and they
But they also got off to
still
one of the great, like, a really
they're
good
both
start.
going to suck. Let's get that out of the way. You think that the Hawks are going to elevate to a playoff team
I think they can make an 8 seed.
because of Trae Young? That's the only
I
real
think
addition
the production of the other players are going to be big. Josh Collins is going to be a star in this
here. It's
league.
John Collins, so take a shot.
Whatever.
You don't even know the guy's name.
Josh is the gay one.
Well,
What?
This took a turn.
that derailed. I was going to talk about Josh Dobson for a
I'm just
second.
going to rest my case here.
So who are your finals sleepers teams?
The Milwaukee Bucks
Okay.
and the Denver Nuggets.
Now, are you saying
So
are you saying the Bucks because you panicked when I said the 76ers didn't count?
No, I picked the Bucks before that.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going to put the Sixers in there.
All right. Hi.
I think the Bucks are the 4th best team in the East,
Okay.
and I think they have a superstar on their team, and he can probably carry that team over.
Okay.
And they're the only other team that can contend with the other 3 in the East. And the Nuggets, I believe, because they have a lot of depth, and they have a lot of stars on that team who can shoot, who can score, who can play defense. And I think they have a chance to become a 4 or 5 seed in the West and contend.
I say the Jazz in the West. I think Donovan Mitchell is the only one out of that those three rookies, Tatum, Simmons, and Mitchell. I think Mitchell's the only one that ups his game. I think Simmons plays at the same caliber. I think Tatum falls off a little bit because I think he comes off of the playoff high, and now now we're adding Hayward and a healthy Kyrie Irving into the mix. So I think we're going to see Tatum. I mean, I still think he's going to be a very important player on the team.
He just there's so many options.
But I also think he's going to come off the bench.
Real quick, hi to my dad.
He could win Rookie of the Year next year.
It's true. Too bad Ben Simmons has already got it locked down. But I think Donovan Mitchell is going to be the best, have the best sophomore year.
Yeah, but I just like the Denver team more than the Jazz. Like, they have Jokic, they have Millsap, they have Murray. They added Isaiah Thomas for a low risk, high reward type thing. And I think he can elevate his game off the bench.
Not his height though.
No, that was good. I don't even know if that warrants it. That was good.
I just think the Nuggets have a very good squad. I really think they're going to overachieve this year.
Good squad. Squad.
Yeah, this guy also said the Hawks were going to.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the Nuggets?
Notice when they're drinking the private stock, it takes forever for it to get to
Jazz
the scout.
over Nuggets.
Yeah, we watched Rebecca for about 35
Have a
minutes.
good team. Murray's overrated. First
Paul,
and foremost. But
would
the
you
rest of the
consider-
team's pretty good.
For the end of the private stock, we drink it through a straw.
And they have Will Bart.
Just an idea. we don't have to do it.
Kendall,
He's coming off the bench. He's a
how
good
about
seven,
this?
man.
How about you just say, "Hey, Paul, I'd like to black out." Do you
No,
mind?
it's not what I meant.
Okay.
So, if I can throw another topic at Kyle for your sleeper. Sleeper to win NBA MVP.
Antetokounmpo.
Not a sleeper. It could easily happen.
I think he's a sleeper. I do. I 100% do.
Jokic.
No.
Does he have a first name?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Nicola.
It
wasn't even hard.
You want to know, son? I was going to guess Nikolai. I would have been close.
I think that's his first name.
I think
It's not Josh.
No, I think Antetokounmpo is a sleeper. I honestly do, because here's the thing: the way it's been going too is a lot of MVPs win the MVP race.
I don't mean to cut you off. It's Jason Collins. That's the gay guy, not Josh. So take another shot.
Josh
you
is
got
his
both
brother.
Collins' names wrong. All
Josh
right, go
is
ahead.
his brother. He played for the Nets.
Nah, you're wrong.
I gotta take a minute.
All right.
I like watching Kyle drink the private stock.
Can you explain your antler combo being a sleeper?
I don't really know who's listening, so I had to really refrain from saying what I was saying.
Say it.
No.
No.
No, I feel like the way things have been going, it goes to a player that has put up ridiculous stats or has been a most valuable type player, but it seems to just be a trend that it's also going to somebody that just happens to also have a very good supporting cast around them. Steph Curry, LeBron James, James Harden. I mean, LeBron last year winning it would have been a wrench in those plans because he didn't have that supporting cast.
Should have won it.
Hmm?
Should have won it.
But years prior when he's won it with the Cavs teams that have been in the finals, he had the supporting cast that was doing well. I mean, nobody can argue that the year Steph Curry won unanimous MVP, he didn't have a fantastic supporting cast around him. And,
the thing is,
and James Harden's got a good. I mean, really, James Harden. The only reason that he won the MVP is because he has a supporting cast that can play defense. But so my thing is, I don't think Antler Combo has that supporting cast right now to do that.
especially after losing Parker.
So that's why I feel like he's a sleeper for it, because he very easily could win MVP. But for me, if the Bucks finish 4 or 5 and Antler Combo averages 26 a game, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 5 assists, yeah, those are phenomenal fucking numbers. But if LeBron does the same exact stat line in LA, LeBron's gonna win it. Even if LA finishes in the same seed.
Well, the reason why I say Jokic, and I think he can honestly he can average a triple double. Because that guy
very hard, but yeah, I think he could too.
Because he's very good at passing.
He's like Bulls Joakim Noah
for a big man. He's really good at it. It's insane.
It's like Bulls Joakim Noah. I don't say that throw that name around to shit on Jeff or whatever with the Knicks, but when Joakim Noah was a Bull, he was a lot like Jokic. That's the type of player. Jokic's got more range, but Noah was often the only player that was down the court with Rose on a fast break. He was dishing out some of the best passes that you've seen in the Eastern Conference, let alone by point guards.
Boozer too.
And dang,
there's a squad.
Squad.
And now Boozer rotting in the big three with the Ghost Ballers.
I was watching some highlights. You remember?
Watch your mouth.
Remember when Nate had the chase down block on a LeBron James dunk? That was awesome. LeBron's face after the dunk was just like, it was so funny. So Jokic, huh? I don't mind it. Do you have one, Jeff? Do you have a sleeper that you'd like to throw around in there?
Kevin Knox.
Yeah,
the first rookie. He might be. I don't know if this happened. The first rookie of the
LeBron
year
won't
and
do shit in LA.
MVP.
You think so?
Absolutely
not.
not.
And trips on it.
I could see a guy.
I don't know, Peter.
I agree to disagree, Pete.
Like Donovan Mitchell, leading that team to the finals.
Peter, I'd like to ask
Bold
you.
statement.
Not to interrupt Jeff and Kyle, but I'd like to ask you:
MVP.
Are you doing this from a political standpoint? Because as an NBA standpoint, I don't know if he's done. He said LeBron won't do shit in LA. I hope he grows a beard long enough and trips on it.
I disagree.
Oh, I'm fucking with you with Donovan Mitchell.
Oh,
No.
I'm talking about LeBron. I don't disagree with Mitchell.
All right, I got another one for
not
you.
gonna win.
We'll kind of go off this train with what Mark's doing.
Just trying to get
Who's your sleeper to win Defensive Player of the Year? Mine's Clint Capella. I think Clint Capella could very easily average 3.5 blocks a game.
Omar Asik.
He's not going to play a minute this year.
Sleeper.
That's not
sleeping.
sleeping. That's coma.
Sleeping during
Who's
the
your
game.
coma to win it? Omar Asik.
Think about it. If he's not on the court, no one's scoring on him.
I mean, I
Could we
guess.
see a guard win it this year?
I
Or
was
is it
thinking
gonna be
about
big
it.
man
Jeff's
forever?
got someone in mind.
What are you gonna say?
I'm just saying, do we have a guard? Maybe.
Because I was thinking a guard.
Oh,
So,
so
Ben
who are you
Simmons?
thinking of? I'm just saying in general. I feel like
Ben
it
Simmons?
always goes
No,
to a
he's not.
big man,
He's not.
and they
sleeper.
overlook, a lockdown perimeter defender.
I think Russell Westbrook can win Defensive Player of the Year.
Too many lapses.
But
He does lapse out.
He gets a lot of blocks. Gets a lot of steals.
He gets a lot of stats, but he's very
But-
lapsy on defense.
I agree,
he'll just
but,
tune out sometimes.
But like, if you're going by the stats, he can easily win it.
I don't think he's the best defensive. I think he just gets blocks because of his size and athleticism.
I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying like he can win Defensive Player of the Year.
You guys would know this better.
Or
than
Rudy
I-
Gobert is just gonna win it again. So it is what it is.
That's something I
Honestly,
feel like it's
do you know-
always biased out to the big men, and I think it's just
Well, the thing, you know who could honestly be a sleeper to win it, especially with what you said earlier? If the Bulls make a serious push, Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn's very good defensively.
he is.
Chris Dunn gets a lot of steals. I mean, think about it. If Chris Dunn, if they allow him to play the basketball that he needs to play, all he's going to be is a defender type of guy. He's not going to need to score.
Or Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, or Kawhi.
Like those two guys
He's
are
a
one of the
forward,
best
but-
defenders. Or even Paul George.
No,
He's a good defender.
but not defensive player of the year caliber.
All it takes is 1 year.
All they do is give the big men though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's gonna go to Rudy Gobert.
You guys may know this. I'm not sure. Has one player ever won like all the awards? Not in the same year, but like
Oh.
We created someone in.
No, no. 'Cause
I forgot his name.
Jordan won Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP. Jordan's won all three.
How about that,
I don't
LeBron?
think LeBron's ever won Defensive Player of the Year.
You know,
won
Carmelo
Rookie of
Anthony
the
was
Year.
an all-star a few times.
Yeah. Did you see that photo? Have you ever seen that throwback photo of him, Wade, and LeBron riding bikes together after they were drafted? It's so funny because at the time too, like I don't know how, like I'm sure he had the shoe deal like in line, but like LeBron's just wearing like normal clothes, but like you see Wade in all his Converse gear from his shoe deal, and Melo's in all Jordan gear, and he's got the bucket hat with the cornrows. That's what Melo needs to do. He needs to bring back the slim thug look.
I
I don't think
agree.
he can throw it anymore. I think he's balding.
Yeah, he's balding a little. He's he's getting chunky.
Well, you can get implants then.
You know, I was sad because everyone shits on him on Instagram, but he never replies. He finally replied to somebody, and it's like, damn, it's finally getting to him, isn't it? He's coming off the bench.
Kyle, I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Kyle, Peter is saying that LeBron needs a supporting cast to be good. And
No. He went to the final with a sorry ass team last year.
Not just a team. Sorry-ass team.
Like, yeah, they had Kevin Love.
Let me tell you something.
Anybody else giggle when they look at the live feed and just see like all of our like all the pish posh going on, and then just a close up of Kendall's face? But it's like always it's always ominously lit. Look at it.
But, like, the thing is, like, yeah, they had Kevin Love, but he's not Kevin Love what he was with the Timberwolves.
No.
Like
Honestly,
this year he can be that Kevin Love.
Yeah.
No.
This year he can.
No, he's past his prime.
Dude,
He's going to take a bigger role, but he's never going to be the Kevin Love that's on
I
the
think he
Timberwolves.
could. I think he could put up big numbers.
I don't think Kevin Love in Minnesota was that great, to be honest with you. I think he had one
Just
really
had a
really
lot of
good
rebounding.
season.
I think if, for some reason, if Minnesota and Cleveland made that trade for Wiggins for Love, the Wolves would win that trade by a lot, especially for right now.
I'll take the reins on this one, Jeff.
All right.
Let's talk Hassan Whiteside for a second.
What about him, Kendall?
I just want to talk about him.
Okay.
I had nothing in mind.
Yeah, let's talk about Hassan Whiteside real quick. He was so ass cheeks last year that they didn't play him against the
He
Sixers.
was so bad.
Embiid embarrassed him.
That dude couldn't stop
No,
fouling.
the NBA embarrassed him. He
question
had
for
a
you
bad
guys.
year.
Do you think that's a guy who is just, not to sound like Chris Collinsworth, but is this a guy that is just like influenced by social media so much that that's really his only claim as an NBA
Because he
player?
was great.
Here's the thing.
Like the year
I didn't
before.
think about Chris Collinsworth until you felt the need to point him out.
I'm mad you did that.
Well, I thought in my head when I said it.
Don't always say the things that go into your head.
I have to say everything. But no, do you feel this is a player that
What, Hassan
really
Whiteside?
is, who's an
got you
elevated
there.
person because of social media? More
No.
so.
What do you mean by social? What do you mean by that?
His come up was strictly though, because I remember.
What? Because all the DJ Khaled stuff?
No,
Yeah,
not
well-
even that. But he had a couple good games, and his first claim to fame was like he asked 2K to change his rating, and they did. This
My-
is way back. He was like a 50 overall.
Because he was cheeks with the Kings.
Here's my thing.
It's just cheeks. He's just a tall shot block.
Love that phrase.
Here's my thing. I don't think Hassan Whiteside's blown up by media or anything like that. Hassan Whiteside is a very good defensive player that can get inside buckets very well, much like a DeAndre Jordan type of player. But once that championship caliber left Miami, he was asked to be the guy. The same thing would happen to DeAndre Jordan if he stayed with the Clippers and he was the guy. You can't have in today's basketball. You can't have a defensive-minded center that's only scoring points in the paint, leading a team. It won't work. It just won't.
That's why DeAndre Jordan will suck in Dallas this year.
But at least he took that. He left. He went out and he's joining Dallas, who's trying to do some rebuilding.
Which
type
I
of thing.
can't believe Dallas still.
Kind of like doing a rebuild thing, and like nobody's expecting him to lead Dallas to greatness. But you stay in LA, and even though the Clippers are might not be that good, they still have sixth man of the year to be, and all that nonsense. And it's the team you've been playing for forever.
If they don't start him, I swear to God, I'm going to kill him.
But they expect greatness from him. I don't think social media has ruined Hassan Whiteside's career or made him bigger than he needed to be. Because that's just all players now, really. I mean, every player in every sport is blown up from social media.
Yeah.
Like to yell at Peter for that.
I just think that I think the Miami Heat made a mistake in not bringing somebody else in to complement Hassan Whiteside when LeBron left and Chris Bosh was not going to play anymore, and Dwayne Wade tested free agency, and now it's just Hassan Whiteside.
I think it's funny too because they kept Dragic, who's decent. He's a decent guy, and they're like, all right, we lost LeBron, Wade, Bosh, but don't worry, we'll go out build around Deion Waiters.
Like, we got a surprise for you.
He was okay.
Oh, stop
in
it!
OKC. Okay.
Stop it!
I didn't say he was good.
Stop
I think
it.
he was okay.
But that's
We're
why,
not
if you
talking
go
about
back,
Deion
that's why
Waiters.
Alonzo Mourning on the Heat was so good, because Alonzo Mourning was a similar type of player. Yes, that was when the NBA was transitioning, but you had Dwayne Wade to complement Alonzo Mourning, and then you went out and you got Shaq.
Yeah.
You did things to make it work.
And think of all the great rap lyrics that came from him.
From who?
Just anybody, What?
Kendall,
Are you thinking
There
of
you
a
go.
French Montana verse?
No.
I am thinking of
Can
first.
I-
But Kendall's
Mourning,
Kendall's been
like
meaning to say this
Alonzo.
for some time. He loves Macklemore because he's the Billy Joel of rap, and he can't get enough of him.
Ready? I'll
Incorrect.
make Kendall cringe right now.
Ugh.
Macklemore is Houston rap.
I was going to finish it, but I decided not to.
Don't finish it. There's still okay.
I said I was going to, but then I stopped.
Who wants to fist fight Kendall right now? Raise your hand.
All right.
Ooh, Rebecca's in on it too. Rebecca's gonna go for a quick mouth shot to the groin. So
the Hawks.
So let me ask you a question then, Kyle. You touched on this. Lou Williams starts for the Clippers 82 games this season. Who wins Sixth Man of the Year?
Lou Williams.
Lou Williams.
Jamal Crawford.
No,
If he signs
I
somewhere.
wish.
He's going to sign somewhere.
He's not, though. He's not going to be Sixth Man of the Year ever again. It sucks.
I'm just so bummed. We could have seen Melo and fucking VC play together. The two most electrifying dunkers in
And you have Vince Carter in
just
Atlanta.
said the... oh, you're right. That makes them good?
Better.
No. You just said the Sixth Man of the Year.
Melo?
Probably.
I don't think so.
No, he's going to start.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be confusing because I think what they're going to do is they're going to start him, but then kind of like play him for the first maybe 5 minutes and pull him
Eric
for
Gordon.
a while. I think
That's
he's gonna
who probably
get
would win
minute
it.
drops.
Eric Gordon?
Yeah, because he won it last year.
He's going to start
I don't think so.
center. All small ball.
Or Danny Green. He might be the sixth man in Toronto.
Maybe. I hope not.
He's right,
Oh, we all like Danny Green. You can't
not
hate him.
really. I mean, he's whatever.
I agree with you on this one,
Serviceable.
Pete. Kendall gets a little wild.
I just don't know why that guy had to take his palm tree. that was uncalled for. That was a staple of the studio.
He took that lamp.
Yeah, we got that lamp though. I don't know if you guys can see it in the corner.
Pending pickup, we're going to have a new lamp coming.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a neon coming to the studio, too.
Do we?
Mm-hmm.
love
Winston
lamp.
cigarettes.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Big fan of that.
I think Isaiah Thomas can win six man.
I think Kyle wants a pack of Winston cigarettes. Menthol.
Imagine Kyle on the show.
Stogies.
Picturing Kyle with like 5 cigarettes in his mouth at one time, and lighting with a blowtorch. Yeah, I do this ironically.
I didn't say anything.
All right, so who's your first NBA All Team this year?
I don't know.
Oh, he doesn't know. Trae Young, Ken Bazemore, John Collins.
All right, so here I'll
Whoever
give you mine.
there's-
Jeff.
I'll give you mine. So I think mine is going to be
Trae Young.
no, I think it's going to be Redneck Studio with Winston Six. Westbrook, Harden, Kawhi, LeBron, Anthony Davis. He's like pels. That's my first NBA.
No
All-Team.
Warriors.
No.
Good.
KD's going to make it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He's a snake.
I really don't.
He likes it.
I think the NBA All-Second Team is going to be Steph, Clay, KD.
Draymond.
Draymond and
No,
DeMar.
he won't make
It's going to be
All-Team.
It's going to be Steph.
Every time I hear his
I had it in
name,
my head.
I think of the
How-
stupid Brita.
Oh no, I think it's
song.
going to be Steph.
Everyone saw that commercial.
I think it's going to be
Yeah.
Steph,
Steph
Clay.
Curry, helping me out.
How do they determine the all team? Is it votes or how is it? Like it's not a
They
fan
asked
vote, thing,
Kyle,
right?
and he just says the Hawks.
It's not a fan vote.
No.
Well, that's what I mean. Because if it is, then Steph
No.
Curry's going to be in it every year. I didn't know how they selected it.
Ooh, Lori marketing from Pinot. Yeah.
Steph, Clay,
Not yet, but
KD,
soon. I think he has
Draymond.
the potential.
Yeah.
Cousins, all NBA.
Draymond's not making the NBA All First Team.
Cousins won't either.
He's not.
Okay. Sorry.
All NBA Second Team is going to be Steph, Clay, Paul George, KD, Boogie.
Ash.
And then the NBA All Third
Omar?
Team is going to be Draymond Green and the rest of the starting five for the Pelicans.
Peter also said
Job Wall. John Wall sucks.
Whoa. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Peter threw a good one in. Kyle's going to like it.
Big
Ben
John
Simmons?
Wall fan.
No,
I
we're not talking about all rookie team, Peter. Not all rookie team.
I like the high. Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
Nah.
No, Jason.
Gordon Hayward.
Kyle's like, all right, let's
Hanging
talk
up the
about
cleats.
this.
Jason Hayward, the worst hitter, but one of the greatest fielders in baseball.
There's a lot of worse.
You're lucky that Uncle
I know, I'm
Bob's
just
not
saying,
here.
though.
Uncle Bob would lay into you for that comment.
No, it wouldn't.
He did.
Andre Drummond?
I said the same thing, and he laid into me.
Neil Walker.
Paul Walker.
The guy's one of the best fielders in baseball. I agree. But-
We're talking about, Jeff, I'd like to see what you say. So let's say 100, because that's pretty terrible batting average, right?
Okay.
That's like you shouldn't even be getting plate appearances.
But Adam
like
Engel.
Kevin Frank's did.
So my shout out was Adam Engel, right, from the White Sox. He robbed 3 home runs in 1 week. Would you be okay with having like your 8-hitter hit 100 if he was robbing 3 home runs a week in baseball?
No.
Oh, why? I would be all about it.
Well, I mean, if you did it every week,
That's what I'm saying. If he robbed,
I guess
if he robbed 3
slot
home
him
runs
into
a
the
week,
9 and pinch
3
hit for
home
him.
runs a week.
Like once he robbed it, then pull him.
But like,
It's like,
in
oh, he's
that
not going to do it
scenario,
twice.
I
in
would
one
just
game.
make him like I would put him in the 7th inning and just let him field.
No, here's what you do. You have your pitcher hit. You DH for him.
There you go.
Done deal.
We have the solution.
That's right.
Throw him on the Giants. Bumgarner comes in.
He's throwing a lot of names at us.
Hey, real quick, Kyle, I just wanted to thank you for letting Blevins get his first hit
Welcome.
in that 24
Yeah,
debacle.
We had Kingery pitching.
You
It's
got
okay.
shit on.
Yeah.
You lost.
We did.
Kettle wins that bet just because of that game.
Well, that's coming right off Kyle saying the Mets can't hit.
And we also
They
did
can
well.
hit.
Yeah, I mean,
And I just wanted to mention that prior to that game, we put up a 16 spot.
Yeah, you guys also really can't win for DeGrom.
Kyle, it's not
didn't
the
they
point.
just win for DeGrom though?
The guy
did?
should have way more than 8 wins.
And you're right. You're right. It's a shame that he's 8-7. It's a
His
shame.
ERA
It
is a 1.71.
Why are we all trying to get on this wagon? I mean, I understand Kyle was wrong about the hitting thing for 2 games, but the Mets still suck ass.
Oh, I know.
Well, it's more than 2 games.
Sorry,
This whole
as
week.
the once great Mojito said, the Mets are cheeks. Okay?
They
They are cheeks. They are Maurice Cheeks.
But you have you have the best pitcher in baseball.
Maurice Cheeks, right?
Fucking scored more than 1 run
Is he
for the guy.
best pitcher
Why are
in
you
baseball?
telling this to me like I'm a guy like
Because
defending
it
the not hitting?
pisses me off.
You want me to say
Hey,
like,
real
oh,
quick,
No, they
Tyler
don't-
Glasnow got rocked.
Peter, don't understand.
Fuck you, Rays.
Peter,
Thanks
you
for
listed a lot of
Archer.
people- You listed a lot of people, Peter, that are very
miss
much
you,
going to be in
Glasnow.
contention for NBA third team, but I don't think any of them will do any higher than that.
I like Kemba, bitch.
Let's say we're having a
Kemba,
good
bitch.
NBA chatting. Kyle's yelling about the Mets.
I'm sorry, but we brought it up.
Well, you know, the thing is, Kyle expects me to say like, no, we shouldn't hit for him. No, I'm going to defend that. Like, of
Just
course,
saying. Imagine if he played for a team that scored like 4 runs a game.
we just give up 5.
Not when he's pitching.
Someone's butt hurt. The Phillies didn't trade for him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's about hurt that they didn't trade for him. Imagine Archer. I'm sorry, not
noise at
Archer.
the
DeGrom on the Pirates.
I don't want DeGrom on the Pirates. I want to lose. if we're good, I can't play the victim anymore.
True. Jeff needs wild
Tell you
card
what, though,
best.
he'd be great for that wild card game.
That's right.
You could probably
We
get
might
past it.
actually lose 1-0.
Could you imagine? Goes complete game loss.
Hey, I don't want to get too crazy in predicting my World Series champs,
That's right.
Oh, you sick son of a bitch.
but I think it's going to be the Red Sox.
Phillies aren't going to make the playoffs.
Sad.
They're not going to make it at all.
We've been at 80 wins.
Yeah, Peter, this is what we do. This is what happens when you mix beer with sports.
Gets a little all over.
I mean,
So based off what
Jamarcus
Peter
Russell,
said, I want to know what you guys think about the NHL. Who's going to win the Ted Lindsay Award?
probably
Mario Lemieux.
No, not Lemieux. Mark Messier.
He's going to come back, have a strong year.
Well, Rick Nash is going to win every award.
Rick Fox.
Yami Yager's going to
No.
come back halfway.
That's one of Kyle's least favorite NBA players of all time.
Who?
Rick Fox.
Fox.
Fuck him. Fuck that whole team.
Kyle, you don't mean that. Because without Rick Fox, we don't get holes.
I'm okay with that.
Are you, though?
I wasn't a fan of that movie.
Yes, you were.
I'm sorry. Let's not get off topic here.
Peter is very adamant about the Astros.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
That's a bold statement. How so?
I think Seattle and Yankees take the wild card. And I think Oakland takes the division.
They're such a dick rider. They're going to fall apart.
I agree with you, Pete.
What do you say?
Red Sox choke in the playoffs.
That's fine, because the Yankees aren't going to make the playoffs.
Maybe.
I can't see him choking.
But Jose Ramirez.
They do it.
That's why I'm a White Sox fan. You know by week 3. And you just enjoy baseball.
The Red Sox, yeah. Every time they're like the odds-on favorite, it usually doesn't go well for them.
They gotta be a wild card.
Go
team.
Clifford this way.
They gotta be a wild
Same.
card. Team.
I don't know.
No,
This
don't
year,
give Kendall one. He's just doing it because I'm getting one.
They got a new look.
I'm ready for one too.
I think they're just resting Chris Sale too. I don't believe that he's hurt.
No.
I think they're just
Like,
giving him more time.
But they know they have division locked.
Yeah, they want to make sure he's 100% because that's a fucking.
But that could also hurt him.
Yes
He-
and no.
You know what, though? From what we've seen him in the playoffs, he's sometimes very spotty.
But it's only been one time.
Yeah, it was small sample size.
Ooh, Indians win division.
Did they?
No, that's what Peter's saying.
Oh, God. What to say? I can see it happening. They're like
Breaking
55
news.
games up.
They could.
The Twins are terrible. The Twins are in second place by and like
That was
10
one of
games
Kyle's
under.
teams to watch this year.
Cleveland.
No, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought they were gonna be good, but Miguel Sano decided, hey,
How many wins do you guys have?
68.
Quest for
You're gonna
180.
get 80. Well, the number was 80 or 85.
It was
I think it was
80.
85.
It was
I think
80.
We
Don't
said
try
85.
it. It was 80. I said 80.
actually, I remember 90.
100.
The MLB, I don't agree at all that the Astros missed the playoffs.
Yeah, no way.
I think that's a reach.
I don't agree
team's
with myself, right?
Kyle, Oakland does this all the time.
No,
where
but they
Kyle,
weren't. They're not this good. They're playing.
do it all the
so
time.
good. It doesn't matter.
they do it all the time.
They can take. They're gonna take the division.
They're not.
They might not win anything, but they're
They're
gonna
not.
take the division.
That's how much faith you have.
And then you know what's going to happen? They're going to trade everybody.
Next
Like
year
they
can't do it now.
all the time.
This year they went to go get Familia. They got Fernando Rodney, who Jeff should be happy about.
Hold on, real quick. You're saying these are positive things?
To bulk to the bullpen, yeah.
It's the Athletics do this all the time. They play red hot, and then at the end of the season, they're terrible again.
It's just like the Pirates in the beginning of the season. They always start off in first place. And guess what? They've never been in first place. That's the All-Star break.
It's just Oakland does this song and dance every season.
But it's really hard for them to miss.
Jonah Hill.
I'm not saying they're going to miss the playoffs. I think Seattle falls off.
It was already full off.
You
Listen,
just said they were going to make the playoffs.
I was lying to myself. Okay.
Where's the private stack?
No.
Cardinals.
Somebody's got to finish it. Souls.
The NL wild card's fucking so wide
Shut
open. The NL wild card has 9 teams fighting for that one spot.
Harper's going to Pittsburgh. Can't even
Fucking
afford it.
idiot.
We can't afford his
He's going to-
cleats.
No,
You
stop.
brought up a point. I
Stop.
got to ask the room because Kyle was arguing with me about this yesterday. Over under. I'm going to say 3 days. Harper signs with the Phillies. Kyle gets his jersey. Within 3 days.
Way under.
Over or under?
Way under.
Instantaneous.
I don't. Here's
He's
the
got
thing.
it pre-ordered right
I'm
now.
gonna be honest with you. I don't think
Yeah,
he
he
ever
smiled.
I don't think he ever gets the jersey. I don't think he ever buys it. I think
gets a
someone.
shirt
I
seat.
think I think somebody will gift it to him. I don't think he'll buy it just to prove a point.
I bet you Bob gets one immediately.
I said that too.
Yeah.
Especially on the Phillies game with Bob the other day, and
Yeah, Harper.
Bob got so erect because he was they did a close up of a fan. That guy's got a Pete Rose shirt on. I want that shit. I was like,
Kyle Peters weighing in said the Mariners have a 3% chance of making the playoffs.
They're 2.5 games out.
hey, you think the White Sox can win 17 out of the next 40 games?
You know who?
No. I asked a question. You don't think so?
No.
No, they bad.
Quest for 100. Quest for 100.
Listen, Dad, normally the end of the shows get a little spotty, and we moved to 3 hours this week, so.
It was funny how he said it.
Yeah,
We bought shirts.
it was hilarious.
Listen,
We've bought
The Phillies
shirts.
were the worst team in baseball for how many years? The 76ers set a record, and Brown's tearing his ACL this year.
Oh!
first of
And
all,
when he does it, I'm going to go to the
I'm
hospital
only
and I'm going
saying
to
no
laugh
because
at
you're
him.
pitching ass. Okay.
When he tears his ACL, I'm going to sign his cast.
Guys,
Shazier.
wow.
Fuck off, souls.
Guys, a lot
we
of
can go to our
personal attacks.
evaluation now.
A lot of
right?
personal attacks here.
Peter, I bought
Kyle
your
gets
shirt.
personal sometimes. I had to get personal.
We have bought shirts, Pete. The only one who hasn't is Rebecca, who told us she was going to buy shirts and has just completely blown it off.
That's not true. I haven't purchased mine yet.
Well,
I haven't put the order in.
I haven't purchased mine yet. I'm waiting for some money from some people.
Rebecca has said it many times, like, "Oh, I'm going to buy a shirt."
She said she was going to do it today.
Just add 7 to whatever we have.
But
31.
Just trying to actually like get everyone in the same room and give me I've literally sent size.
It's like fantasy
and
draft.
color.
Yeah.
Just send it.
Send fantasy draft.
but
Yeah, custom ink though, sizes.
everybody listening,
$2 for
I'm not
2
sure
eggs.
who's in our Facebook chat, but anybody listening, be sure to head on our Facebook, find our link. Order T-shirts. We'll get them out to you.
No, really, do it.
Get the name out there. You know, wear that
We're getting
GSWD.
high off our own supply right now.
You know, a guy from work said he didn't like our logo, and you know what? He's a liar.
Remember, if we sell 35 shirts, Kendall is going to wear a Tom Brady jersey that he's going to buy. No, 75 was we'll buy it. 35 he has to buy it.
Not wearing the jersey.
You probably already have one.
I'll tell you what, I won't wear it, but I'll eat one, and I'll do it on the show. I get to choose the sauces.
No sauce.
A1. All right. Fine. Dry rub.
There's no way
Lemon
you can eat
pepper.
a whole
You get
jersey.
tartar sauce. And that's
Oh, God.
final. That's final.
I can eat a whole jersey. Are you kidding me?
So you didn't say the name of the guy from work, which is fine, but Peter responded with just, he's a dick.
I have a feeling I know who it is.
Let's call him out over
Is it
live.
Stoshball?
Come on.
No, not Sexual. I actually haven't hit him up because he's in glorious Las Vegas.
Yeah,
you know,
your
stashing
name was
it
on
up.
PLR the other day.
Get on Skype.
You know, someone
They
called
said
me.
your name.
I'm the skinny stash. You know, that's what they called me.
Ooh.
You're a goofy-looking guy, Kendall.
That's what they called
Did
me.
that hurt?
Those cheetah print glasses?
Well, it's turtle shell.
Let me tell you something. That doesn't make it any better.
But I just wanted to say
I like turtles. That doesn't make it any better.
the point I'm
Also
making that
rocking-
I've been called
Yeah,
stash
sure,
ball
sure,
before
sure.
I was called skinny stash ball, so it doesn't
Pete
really
says
phase
no
me.
names.
No names, no names.
Is it Peter?
It was
All right, we're going to go to break number 2 of our new 3-hour format. If you're just tuning in, yep, we're 3 hours now on the PPRN radio network. So tune in at 10 now.
10 to 1.
That means that the 12 to 1 o'clock segment with Kendall's going to be very interesting. A lot of peeing, a lot of booze.
There should be a pizza coming.
damn right.
When we come back, we'll be 2 assholes shy of a good time. So they owe private stock next week, and yeah, we'll be back with more Red Dog and more sports. Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by, J. Martin Red Baron.
J-Mart changing sides.
Yeah. We're short 2 assholes right now. K-Quick Souls and Machine Washable. They went out to they're gonna be coaching some baseball. Look at them go. Look at them go. Private stock for them.
Cooler slid over. I think we should keep the mic on for the cooler. See what it has to say. Hold on, Jeff. You gonna do a voice for the cooler there? Pleasure to be here. Ain't good. We'd like to welcome our guest for coming on.
Farts over here.
Anjin says that your son looks just like you and he's very handsome.
He's more handsome than me. Put it that way.
Wait till the beard grows in.
Thank you. He's been told he's my mini-me many times. Which is good, because then I didn't have to go get, a DNA test done.
Wow. I guess so.
I'm just kidding. I do give you a
Yikes.
good chuckle.
So, what do you say we spend this hour talking about the worst, NFL, NBA, NHL, the whole thing. Worst
Whoa.
players ever. Let's
Not
start
by
with the
Mike.
Phillies and the Giants.
Well, they are. Phillies and the Giants, I'd like to... Jeff is gearing up. I think he should lead off on why the Phillies are the worst.
The Phillies are the worst team?
Let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr. finishing 15th in receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns this year. I mean,
Spider-Man's worse than Batman.
yeah, honestly. I mean, the Power Rangers overrated.
Yeah.
You think the car's blown up yet? You think their car's blown up?
They haven't made it out of the parking lot. They're turning
They're
around.
circling back. I can just see, look, there's the car coming right through the window. So we've had a lot of enticing talk about the sports so far. And we're getting into that time of the year where it's going to be exciting. There'll be sports on all the time. It's amazing how empty a day is going to feel, like a random Tuesday when there's no basketball games, no NHL games, obviously no football. It's gonna be a weird feeling, but we're getting into that time where it's just sports everywhere.
That's when we go to the bar. Watch reruns of Mets games.
Mets classics.
Yeah, unlike the Yankees classics where they don't always win them.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo.
Oh, in this game, Jose Reyes hit 3 home runs, but they lost 47-6.
You know, when I was younger, Reyes never hit home runs. Never. Comes back, knocking 2 a game, it feels like. It's unbelievable.
What a player.
That's a guy, they should test him. And he's my favorite. But that guy never hit home runs. Look at him now. Batting 189.
189 with 50 home runs.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
No one bats an eye to Reyes.
That's a Russo's hardwood floor softball player if I've ever seen one. That was speaking of Russo's hardwood floor, that was a rough game to watch. You were there, Ken.
I was, and I would say I was the
8,
jinx.
Up 8 after the top of the 6th, lose by 4.
Yikes.
Yeah. I mean there was a few errors in the field, but most of them pretty much came on one play. Just a lot of good pokes here and there, but it was rough to watch. Really glad I didn't have to keep the book for that part of it. Would have ran out of space.
I always feel bad because, I mean, you've played, I've played, Jeff has played, and we've been there for the real losing. and now that they're playing well, they've had a good season, and then to blow a game like that, it's just it's tough.
Not only that, but that game would have cemented them in first place. But I think they're happy about it because it means they don't move up a division.
True. Well, I mean, I think
Kyle's
back
not happy
to
about
a
it.
time when they showed up to the game at a particular time, an hour after. And I think about the guy that sat in this very seat and how it is his fault.
Shout out to Maxine Washable. Oh God, I wonder if he hadn't thought about that, he's thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Drive safe, guys.
I hope they're playing us through the auxiliary.
Oh, I hope so too. Now, Kyle, this is what's happening. Mock's playing us through the Bluetooth on his phone, but Kyle's listening to us on his headphones.
Probably.
Mock's trying to have a conversation with Kyle, not realizing the headphones are on.
Yeah.
He's now looking at Kyle, slapping them in the chest. Take off your fucking headphones. Kyle's like, what the fuck? But he's laughing.
Eric's tuned in. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
So what do you guys want to talk about? We've touched on this. Oh, Rebecca, yes.
Hold on.
Okay. No, she said
nothing.
no. So we touched on sports today.
No.
What?
We can't let her talk.
No, this is a Middle East country.
Pretty much danced around each sport, but we never really stuck with one.
True.
Well, we had a great basketball conversation last hour, and it drives me nuts. And love the kid to death, but we have the same conversation about the Mets every single time, every single week. It's the same conversation. And he makes it seem like I'm the guy who's defending them not hitting for DeGrom. It drives me nuts. DeGrom should have at least 10 wins. He should have had 10 wins weeks ago.
15 wins in reality.
I mean, 8-7 now.
Dude, this has happened. I keep saying Felix Hernandez. That happened to Felix for like 5 years straight.
I can't remember how many no decisions there have been, but 8-7, that kind of adds up to where he'd be at this point, win-loss wise. And it's like, I'm right there with you. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. He should be, your guy with your winning leader. His ERA, he deserves. It's 1.77 right now or something like that.
So I always said wins are an overrated stat in a pitching sense. If you go out there and do what DeGrom does, no one in the world is going to say, oh, the Mets lost so many games because DeGrom wasn't pitching good. You're never going to hear that. It's a joke.
Yeah.
And then someone will look at, I'm trying to think of a good. Here we go. This is nothing to take away because Houston's pitching staff has just been amazing. But like Charlie Morton is winning more games than ever. He didn't win half the games he's winning when he was playing for Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, wherever he was. It's the team around him. He's getting a lot of run support, and it translates to a high number of wins. And are you going to say, Charlie Morton has maybe 3 or 4 wins more than Jacob deGrom? Is he a better pitcher than Jacob deGrom? No.
It's
not. He's turned it around somehow. I can't.
It's circumstantial. It just, I mean,
I got something for you.
Sure.
So we're talking about some home runs. We got
dingers.
Dingers.
You see that little?
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but
my name's Big Al, and I hate
Big Al.
dingers.
Yeah. So right now we've got JD leading the charge at 38, with Jose Ramirez right behind him at 37. And then Chris Davis is 34, and then from there it goes down. Matt Carpenter, Stanton, Gallo, Harper.
Stanton there. I thought they were supposed to be
Stanton's at 32, and Judge is at 26.
26?
Yep.
That's like half of what he hit last year.
Mookie Betts has got 27. Goldschmidt's in that mix. Trout's got 30.
Betts has more than Judge.
So
Wow.
Weird.
Do you think JD Martinez holds on to have the home run crown?
I think he does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's narrow. It's only one right now.
Yeah, but I think they're meshing.
I'm surprised that Ramirez is the guy tailing him.
Well, they're doing it.
That guy,
MLB.com or ESPN.com, I should say.
Underrated player.
They have a projection based off of, like home runs hit, on the season plus like the trend they're on over the past however many games. So right now they actually have Ramirez and Martinez projected to both finish with 49. So, Ramirez has been hitting a little bit more home runs recently than Martinez. Mm-hmm. But you think Martinez sticks true and stays on and wins?
Yeah, I think
right now
so.
they have them both projected to hit 49 home runs, which is kind of insane to think about that they're going to hit, they're projecting Martinez to hit 11 more home runs.
Yeah.
In 35 to 40 games?
Nuts.
Yeah. This is like the dog days of August, especially
I just gotta say, I'm surprised that going into the season, if you said who's gonna hit more home runs, Betts and Martinez or Judge and Stanton, I would have easily said Stanton and Judge by a long shot.
Yeah. I mean, so off the top of your head, do you know what Stanton's contract was by how many years was?
He signed a crazy deal.
Okay, so
back in Miami. I don't remember how many years it left. It was a pretty long, almost, I guess you could use the word max deal at the time.
I mean, I was under the impression, I was expecting, the two of them to put together for almost 100 home runs
a year.
And perhaps next year that'll be the case. But I mean, it's a disappointment. I don't root for the Yankees. I mean, I like Stanton. He's a great player. He's fun to watch because of the home runs. That's about it.
He's got an awesome swing. It's a different swing, and it's a home run.
My like for him as a player ends at the home run, and you go to a small ballpark and you have all this hype.
I'm so surprised about. You play in. I mean, I've played not Little League games. I've played
325
in bigger stadiums.
$325 million over 13 years.
Wow.
Now I haven't hit home runs at those stadiums, but I just don't get it. You go from Miami notoriously has a pitcher's ballpark, even though their pitchers have proven otherwise.
He's got $25 million this year, 26 the next 2 years. After the 2020 season, he's got a player option for every season.
It's not
and
a terrible
29,
deal.
Yeah. So it's 29, 29, 32, 32, 32, 29, 25, and then in 2028 is when his contract's up. It's a team option.
Only 3 people watching.
That's right. we get viewers later.
That's right. Come on, folks.
I could see him staying there for the duration.
Yeah,
you know why? It's cushy. He could always fall back onto the DH if his abilities in the field kind of. I don't see his swing ever changing.
No,
it's always been the same. It's that uppercut.
No, I know this is kind of inflated because the only person in the home run chase for home runs that's up in this list is Joey Gallo for average distance of home runs. Mm-hmm. So he's hit 32 home runs and his average distance is 412 feet. But Arizona Diamondback, now we know the ball flies in the desert.
That's right.
But Christian Walker has only hit 1 home run this season, but it was 460 feet.
Wow.
How do you do that and then not hit another home run? You just hit a fucking moonshot.
You just hit a fucking ball that hasn't landed yet, and you couldn't get another one?
So, is he off the bench?
I would assume so if he's only got 1 home run.
I'm
looking at some of these
boy,
other
was
names,
it a shot. He gave that thing a ride.
Some of these, Hunter Pence only hit 1 home run. It was 425 feet. Franchi Cordero has hit 7, but he's averaging 440 a home run.
Wow.
Which means he's hitting bombs.
Yeah.
Gallo's hitting bombs. To hit that many home runs and still average 410 plus feet. But, I mean, if you go back, you go to the home run league. I mean, I know the distances and everything. As long as it's over the wall, that's all that matters. But
That's right.
you go back and you list like JD Martinez his average is under 400. He's at 395. Jose Ramirez is even less at 386. Stanton is over 4. He's at 403. But, I mean, for the most part, most of these guys at the top are under 400. It's all about volume.
It's more about volume. Swinging to make good contact. Home runs will follow versus trying to hit the ball 500 feet.
Mm-hmm.
True. And my example is the Mets. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Well, I mean, so the Mets have been on this week-long, we'll call it, hitting binge. But you look at that, and half of those are, in fact, home runs. And it's kind of the mantra of the team. It's something I've said for 3 years now, that it's a home run or bust. And I care, but I don't care.
I care.
I care because, of course, I want the team to do well. But, when you're a fourth-place team like they are right now, and you're 15 games back, the changes are not going to be implemented till perhaps next season, if there's going to be any changes at all. I mean, obviously, the man
told me out of retirement.
Yeah, I mean, the management has proved that they're happy with what they're doing right now, and if they're gonna hit home runs, then go ahead, let that be your offense. But I don't know. It's just embarrassing, the players we've signed, and you and I were talking about this last week. Jose Bautista, like, hey, here's a guy who's struggling down in Atlanta. Come up.
Not even that. He couldn't even get on a major league roster, and then Atlanta gave him a shot. He didn't produce. How he got another shot, I don't understand.
And for the Mets, he's hit like 9 home runs. I'm speculating. I don't know, but it's something like that.
I think the Mets need to move on from Cespedes.
Yeah, honestly, he'll probably go somewhere and he'll be healthy again, because that's how it goes. But Cespedes, it was that window, between 2015, I guess it was, and 2017.
Because that was huge when that happened. When
2014,
2016. Well, he went from Oakland to Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was like a big deal when that happened.
In Detroit, right?
Yeah, he was in Detroit for a hot minute.
It's very like Vlad Guerrero-y kind of, just killer arm, hit for power.
Yeah. And
that's about it.
I think we were together. When we were together for the first game of the World Series, did we go to like Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the first game or something?
Nah, probably.
But I remember that
if it was on a Tuesday or a Thursday,
at the time,
a good chance.
But of the World Series, we watched him. He first ball hit out to him, he like botches.
Oh yeah,
and like
gives up
a triple out of it, and that kind of just spelled like the end for him as a.
That World Series was just a absolute picture-perfect representation of how unclutch Daniel Murphy is in the field, though. He had some pretty costly errors.
I mean, you think about versus the Dodgers, how he came through, and was it Chicago before that they played? Oh, I can't remember now.
No, he was very clutch with the bat, but then when it came time to play the Royals, his fielding just was not
that
even
span
close.
of home runs that he hit. And it's like, how is this not going to carry over?
It was like 4 games, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah,
like 4 straight games with a home run in the postseason.
And it came down to it, just crumbled out in the field.
Yeah,
and just go right to a division rival.
Yep, and then pick it up again. Like nothing changes. Played better, perhaps better.
We all know what you said.
Yeah,
you miss him.
I miss him.
Jim, can I get a Clifford?
Fresh out.
Bro, this is cooler. We're done.
Fresh out.
Get that water off.
Oh, no.
Hey, while you're in there, I'll take a Clifford. Peter's talking about redoing the studio, the setup, and I'm trying to push for a urinal in here.
Just make sure the cameras are not pointing.
Oh, no.
At
well, it's going to be
it, so you kind of see, there's something going on.
Just drill a hole in the wall and just have the pipe going out the wall.
That's what I mean.
Outside.
You've seen those go green environments. I'm thinking PVC right out. Who needs running water? That's preposterous.
Yeah.
I'll just go to a corner, a wall, like you said, and just, do my thing, and then I can come right back. Now I have to walk
20 feet.
20 feet?
20 feet.
35? I mean,
20 feet, that's a difference between a flyout and a game-winning home run.
That's right. And that's how we tie it all together. I got to go very soon, so you guys going to be talking amongst yourself. This 3-hour thing is not going to work. We're going back.
We got guys leaving.
No, I know we bounce around with the sports talk the show, but we're going to do it again. I mean, more so towards Jeff, but Kendall, feel free to chime in.
Crosby's overrated.
Guy's a weird fucking stance when he kicks. It's like he's one of those people like it looks like you have to like push his head back into place. Like it's so far forward.
No, I said his name and someone stopped watching.
It was me. But do you think there's any serious push from the Lakers at all? I mean, make the playoffs probably. They'll probably make the playoffs. But you add LeBron to a team, it's gonna make the overall team better. Yeah. But do you think there's any? Do you think the Lakers can even make the Western Conference Finals?
I don't think they can make the finals, but I think they have a chance to.
Best case scenario, what's their seeding? Like, what do you honestly think? I mean, obviously, yeah, the best case scenario is they'll probably finish a 3rd seed. I think Houston overall is better, but that doesn't mean that they're technically a 3rd seed team. What do you think? What's the best that they can finish?
I anticipated a 3rd seed for them.
Really?
I did.
I could see 2, and I only say this because I don't know how Houston's going to be. I like Houston and on paper, but they did just lose a lot of pieces. I hate Skip Bayless, but he said subtraction by addition by adding Carmelo. And I think it's what it's going to come down to is, are they going to use him right, and is he going to comply? Because I'm a Melo fan, but I understand too that he's not a starter, and if he's taking up too much of the time, it's just going to flop, just like it did in Oklahoma.
So 3rd seed faces the 5, correct? Is that how?
6.
6. Okay.
1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 5.
So I'm trying to envision a scenario that comes down to Golden State and the Lakers.
What, in the first round?
No. For
we'd be doing a disservice if we had them in the first round, though. Like, I want that to be the championship game. I think that'd be really cool.
So, but I mean, it's a type of thing that there's not really a scenario other than I think Golden State's going to be,
because if they finish, they can still face each other if they finish 1 and 3.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is that I don't foresee that contest happening early in the playoffs other than the finals. Would you? Not the Western Conference Finals. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Let me tell you this: how funny and great would it be if Conference Finals? LeBron, they beat the Warriors in 7 games and then get swept by the East. Could you imagine?
By the Cavs?
That made me so mad.
Like he finally beats the Warriors, but doesn't get a ring. He gets knocked off.
Imagine if it was the Cavs too. The Cavs just came alive.
It's something that's really possible too, because everyone's writing off the East. But seriously, Boston's a deep team. I know they have. Everyone's got their weaknesses.
And Toronto can make a splash if everything clicks well.
Toronto just upgraded. I mean, I love DeRozan there just for the story, but at the end of the day, you get a lot more if Leonard is Leonard.
My thing is I feel like it's got to be Boston, Toronto. I'm not saying this to ruffle feathers. I really just don't think Philadelphia's ready. I just don't.
No, because I think they had some would say they had a good offseason because they didn't lose anyone, but not that they needed to add a star, but if they did add a star player, if they added Leonard, if they added somebody, I think that elevates them to readiness. Right now, they're still young.
And my thing, too, is J.J. Redick hasn't been the consistent shooter that he was in L.A. with the 76ers. They
should have got Korver.
And now that they don't, especially with Simmons not being a shooter, I mean, Simmons only has 1 made 3.
Pretty sure it was like a half court or 2.
No. I don't think he's made a 3 in the NBA. I'm pretty sure he's only got 1 made 3 in his entire basketball career, and it's in college. And so, I'm not going to take anything away from Ben Simmons. I think he's going to be very good. But until he can learn to shoot, that's a gaping hole in that team. You can't until he learns.
Think about the curse too. He's with Jenner now.
Yeah,
it's over. It's over.
It's one of those things where
still won Rookie of the Year this year, but
I think they're going to be very good. But I think for at least another year or two, they're going to be one of those things. It's going to be heartbreak for Philadelphia fans. I think it's going to be one of those things they're going to do really well, and then they're going to fade out until they either get a star or fix something pivotal in there.
Can we just point out that don't seem to be really upset about this, but she's on Omegle right now.
Oh, what the hell? She's looking at penises.
That's absurd. Also, I'm really upset. These guys. Not only did they not clean up, but
it's Kyle. Oh,
check that beer out.
Oh my God. Mock never finishes the end of his beer.
And check this beer out. So not only did they didn't clean up after themselves, they got Kyle's water, 2 beer. Like what? So that was 1 beer Mock drank today. We're drinking.
No, Mock drank 1 in this.
Okay.
Kyle drank.
Kyle did 2 empties right there.
No, that one of those is Mock's.
All right.
Mock drank 1 and
left a full beer.
Mock drank 1 and 7/8. Kyle drank 1 in a sip.
I have beef with their drinking.
And Kyle was sipping on this water, but they didn't even clean up after themselves. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Saquon Barkley ACL tear week 2 now. That's just the way I feel about it.
Taking him first round. You heard it first. First round pick, Mock. He's going down. So you better pick him. That way I can take Beckham, so he's going down. Either way, one of them's going down.
So Kyle's been having me really getting on me about doing the fantasy football thing. So I think the Bears-Jets thing isn't going to work out. So we're not going to do it that way. So what I'm really going to try to do is I'm going to try to draft. I'm going to try to go really heavy on teams that have the same bye weeks, so I can leave all my starters in, never check it, and then just take the L that 1 week.
There you go.
I hope I play you. I'm always one game that I need to win and lose, so
I find that
really big.
I end up doing that.
maybe
Let's link up our draft.
See if the schedule comes out first. If the schedule comes out first, I'll pick that week.
It might already be out.
No, it's because not everybody's signed up yet.
Oh.
Dumbass.
Well, I was able to check my
Kyle,
roster. It's empty.
I'm texting Kyle at work, okay, we'll talk about it later. I'm busy, and he just keeps sending me code after code. I'm like, I can't do this. We'll do it tomorrow. Never did it tomorrow. I saw him today. It's been a week since the last time.
It was funny. He made a $20 bet with Mock's brother Ty about because Ty was like, "Oh yeah, I'll sign up for it when I get home after the softball game last week." It's like, "I bet you $20 that you won't." And Ty was like, "I'm not going to shake on that." Mock's like, "Just shake on it and then sign up now." And he's like, "Okay." Kyle's like, "No, I don't want to do this." But I don't know. For me, realistically, I think the Lakers are. I think 5 is the best case scenario for them.
Yeah,
I really do.
Behind who's the? We're talking Golden State, Houston.
I think it goes.
Assume that Golden State's going to win it all.
Yes.
So it's funny you say that because I actually think it goes Houston.
All right.
I do. I honestly do. I think it goes Houston, Golden State by 1 game. Houston, Golden State, Utah, Denver, LA.
Utah, huh?
Yep. Utah's going to be good this year. They're going to be good. I think so many people in the West, they look at the big man situation. Like you look at San Antonio having Aldridge, and they still have Powell, right?
Yeah.
They still have Powell. And honestly, for me, Aldridge, Powell, and DeRozan is not something to sleep on. San Antonio could very easily wiggle their way right into a fucking 4 seed. Especially with Popovich.
I believe in Powell forever.
Yeah.
His brother, no.
I honestly think Powell is the most underrated player of our generation. Nobody ever talks about Powell, and they talk about most
I talk about Powell.
He's so good. He's been so serviceable every year he's been in the league.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand. He had to go be with Kobe to get the ring. I understand that. But in the NBA, that's how it works these days.
Powell's better than Kobe.
No. But
Kobe
I don't know,
needed
it's just,
Powell.
For me, it's... The reason I say it is because there are a lot of, wow, this could be amazing things to happen in LA, but there's the only thing...
Round the horn.
Round the horn.
Oh, not over the board there, guy. Whoa.
Just dump it on it. Right? It's cheap maintenance, right?
Peter has 7 of those.
I like watching. I'm trying to figure out how Kyle does it. He holds it like this, almost like it's a brandy snifter.
Well, it's like if you give him a cigar, like a big stogie, he still does the cigarette grip on it.
I don't know. For me, in LA, there's a lot of things, and I agree. There are a lot of things that could go amazing. Ingram and LeBron could be a really nice 1-2 punch. Lonzo could have a breakout year. Kuzma could continue to play the way he did last year. But a lot of it's all what ifs. The only thing set in stone for the Lakers is that LeBron's going to do LeBron things. That's the only thing set in stone.
LeBron.
So, and the Lakers didn't make the playoffs last year, right?
No, they were terrible.
Right. So it's
Terrible.
LeBron might. Here's my thing: it's like Brooklyn. If you put LeBron on Brooklyn, yes, Brooklyn's going to be better. But honestly, if you put LeBron on Brooklyn, are they a 6 seed?
They have Rondé handsome Scooter Jefferson.
They still have Isaiah Whitehead too.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
They're bad.
Do you think there's ever a scenario where, let's say, LeBron gets hurt this year, like a significant injury, that it's just it?
Ever.
No, and I wish I like LeBron a lot. I'm just curious. Do you think there's ever a scenario like that after this year, that's it? Contract aside, let's say I'm assuming that let's say he gets hurt and decides,
So, like,
I
he'd
can't.
call it quits.
Yeah, like I can't come back.
I think it depends on what injury it is and when it happens.
Because
if we're talking like Achilles tear, like late in the season, maybe. But if we're talking like MCL injury, game 8, we're talking like a Gordon Hayward injury, no.
Comes back no matter what.
Honestly, I think if LeBron had Hayward's injury, LeBron would have played before the end of the season.
Yeah.
The guy has so much in the tank. I mean,
He just says, "Let's hope
it's
so."
really crazy to think about how, I don't know about stat-wise, but last season might have been his very best season, I think. I don't care that he lost the way he lost, but to take that team to the finals, I mean, granted, yeah, okay, the Celtics, that should have been a better matchup,
Yeah.
barring Hayward getting hurt right off the bat. But, I mean, still, he did so much of everything last year. Still somehow didn't win MVP.
It brings it all back to the same argument that I've always stood behind when it comes to the GOAT discussion. For me, LeBron is the best all-around offensive player of all time. Michael Jordan's the best all-around player of all time.
Yes.
And Kobe Bryant is the best scorer of all time.
Yep.
I saw a thing the other day.
He's just cold-blooded.
I saw this thing. It was on. I think it was Hoops Nation, an Instagram account. Give them a follow. They're Hoops Nation is really good, and so is what's the other one? Dunk.
Bucket Center too. That kid,
Yeah, those are
kid
good
that
too.
started with KD.
Those are good. We'll have to do that.
I like his opinions.
I'm gonna have to. We'll throw up a.
Now follow.
We'll throw up an
us.
Instagram post later this week. We'll do a compilation.
Who to follow?
Yeah, accounts to follow. Good accounts to follow for all kinds of news. I mean, some of it's fun stuff, and you see a lot of repetitive posts. But
Shout out to the tasteless gentleman, of course.
we'll do that. We'll do an MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, and then funny.
Yeah.
A funny one. The tasteless gentleman.
Pop culture.
Fuck Gary. Those are funny. But I don't know. For me, it's just like they showed us a thing, and I don't know what LeBron's and Jordan sit here and try to compare, but they showed up. It was Kobe's highest points scored against every team he's ever played against. Mm-hmm. So obviously the Lakers were the only team he's never played against.
Right.
His lowest high was 40 against the Pistons. And then his greatest was obviously 81 against Toronto.
In the last game?
No. 81 against Toronto was in like
6.
What was the last game? It was 60, but it was all like the
only
second half.
60 something.
Only.
But I'm saying it's like for me, like Kobe Bryant is the most cold-blooded, ruthless scorer the NBA has ever seen.
You saw what Matt Barnes tried to do to him, and he didn't even flinch.
I mean, I forget what I'd have to find it. I forget what team it's against. But there was a time where like Kobe, someone kicked the ball at him. They were driving to the paint. Might have been Bynum. They were driving in, and they kicked it out. They kicked it out to Kobe behind the arc on the wing. And Kobe caught the ball and immediately tried to pass it straight to the baseline to somebody that was open. And the ball slipped out of his hands and fell right back into him, so he just jacked up the three. Like, his Mamba mentality is so cold.
100%. He's like, I'll pretend I'm going to pass.
Kobe, for me, is the greatest scorer of all time, without a doubt. And, I've looked at a lot of lists that have, and Kyle might have flack to say about this, but if you made a list of the 10 greatest scorers of all time, even if it's at 10, I think Melo's on that list. I do. I honestly do. I think Melo is one of the best scorers in the NBA's history. He's just terrible at defense.
Yeah.
But for me, like
he wasn't always either. That's the thing.
Right. But my thing is with Melo is one of those players that he's not LeBron James. He's not. No. Like, there's no arguing about that. He's not LeBron James. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Kobe. He's not Kobe Bryant. But what makes him such a good scorer is that as age hit him, he changed his game to do it. In Denver, if you go back and watch Carmelo Anthony Denver highlights, he's
dunking on people.
He was fucking posterizing people. And then he went to the Knicks, and he started doing that a little bit in the beginning, and then age was setting in.
He was never.
And then he became, but then he became a back down guy. He became, and he became the best one-on-one scorer in the NBA, bar none.
And like that's always one of my favorite things to do. I try to tune in almost every year when he's going up against LeBron. There's always a point in the game where he's doing the mid-range on LeBron, or he's popping a three on LeBron. They go back and forth. It's only a couple minutes usually, but it's always like just something I love to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's just great. They both score on each other the whole time.
Right.
And you could tell they're like, nah, I don't want him to score.
Yeah.
It's just...
And like a thing for me too, like we keep the semi-quasi GOAT discussion going. One of the things for me that has always cemented as Michael Jordan as being the best player of all time is things like, you ever watch the video of him discussing on, I think it was like a late night show or something like that, about his ability? You ever watch the highlights of his ability just to palm the basketball?
Oh, yeah.
He's smaller than LeBron, but he had, and he says it in the video, he had a very, very wide stretch between his thumb and his index finger that allowed him to palm the ball. And you watch videos of him, he would drive down the lane, stop, and take the ball, and literally go up to shoot with it, keep 1 foot on, and palm the ball back down with one hand. Not two, one hand. And stop everybody in their tracks, and then just pull up a completely uncontested jumper from the free throw line. Or the way he was able to manipulate defenders. Like, I get so tired of seeing, like, was Jordan really that good, or was the defense that weak? The defense wasn't weak. The defense wasn't weak back then. It wasn't. Yeah, sure. If LeBron goes up against the Nets, sure. Or that Toronto team that Kobe went up against. Like, there's always bad teams.
Right.
But then you go up against guys like John Stockton and Karl Malone. That Utah Jazz team. He had to play them.
Perhaps,
Charles Barkley was no slouch on defense.
Now he is.
Yeah, he's a slouch
Listen,
now.
Charles.
But he was no slouch on defense.
good.
People like you go back Patrick Ewing, people like Rodney Mullen, even I don't want to bring up a name, but a certain pacer.
Yeah, he's bringing up Reggie Miller. That guy's.
Would you say too? I mean, probably perhaps more defensively sound teams then. I mean, I feel like now everyone's kind of just like
players back
laps.
then. Players when Jordan played, there weren't as many great players. Like right now, like if you were to sit down and be like, okay, give me a list of the 5 greatest players in the NBA. Most people will struggle.
You're gonna say Tony Allen.
Like you look at names: Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, LeBron, Westbrook, Jimmy Butler. Like there's tons of names that go into Anthony Davis. There's just so many names that go into the list that if you sat down 50 people and you asked them for your top 5 all around players, probably you wouldn't have one of the same.
You're going to have one guy that's going to say fucking John Salmons.
Kendall.
I don't like him for his defense.
But if you go back to when Jordan played, I bet you it wouldn't be 50, but you might have 15, 20 people that have the same top 5 because back then you had to be all around.
Right.
Uh-huh.
There was no special, like there weren't 3-and-D players really.
No.
I mean, you had assist specialists like Scott Skiles. Throw a name out there that most people don't know unless they really follow the NBA.
Van Axel.
But ex-head coach of the Chicago Bulls, back in the Ben Gordon, Kirk Heinrich days. I think early D Rose was when he got his exit. But Scott Skiles played for the Magic. He was just a point guard. He was a floor general. He didn't come out to score, and people forget that he just casually owns the record for 30 assists in a game.
Yeah.
I also broke that record in
2K.
every 2K. Always dishing.
There were specialized players that that goes without saying.
Rondo.
Tony Kukoc from the Bulls. His whole role on that Bulls, 6 championship run was shooting the 3. That was his role.
It's Rondo too, though.
But
like, there's a few guys that have kind of gone and kept that. Rondo being one of the few in today's NBA, but you don't see it anymore as much. Guys are asked to do everything.
Do you think it's fair to say that Scottie Pippen is the most underrated player of all time in the NBA?
Of all time?
Fair. It's definitely up there.
I mean, and this is coming from a guy who didn't watch as much basketball, nearly as much as you guys, but it's like when the discussion of, it's Michael Jordan, and then it's like, oh, well, who else was on that team? And it's like, it's Scottie Pippen, and it's like, it doesn't get the love.
No.
Not the love.
And he was a good all-around player who I definitely think if he wasn't with Jordan, you're still going to have Jordan having sex.
Having sex with everyone is what you're saying.
But Pippen could have been he could have even taken that leap if he was the guy on another team. Because he had an all-around, he could pass, he could defend.
let's go through Pippen's career.
He's
6-time champion.
Very successful player.
6-time champion, 7-time All-Star, All-Star MVP, 3-time NBA All-First Team, 2-time second, 2-time third time. 8-time NBA All-Defensive First Team. 8 consecutive All-Defensive First Teams.
Suck on that, LeBron.
2 All-Defensive Seconds, was an NBA steals leader, made it to the 50th anniversary all-time team, has his number retired, Athlete of the Year for USA Basketball, and then you go into his stats, and it speaks for itself. I mean, the guy, he was good. He was probably the definition of all-around GOAT. I mean, his career stats, I mean, he played, 34 minutes a game. He averaged just over 45% from three-point, which is insane. 45% is great. I mean, yeah, he wasn't shooting Steph Curry numbers, but 6.5 rebounds a game, 5.5 steals, or 5.5 assists, over 2 steals, averaged a block a game, and this is from somebody that played small forward.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he played the same position that LeBron plays. And I don't think he gets enough. I mean, you go back to 94? That was the year that Michael Jordan left to go try out baseball. I think he lost out to Olajuwon for the MVP race, but he had an MVP season. Like, it was like LeBron Harden was this past year. Like, it was very close. And he took the Bulls, and they gave him the reins. And a lot of people would say, oh, it's just that season proved that Pippen couldn't do it without Jordan. Mm-hmm. But he comes in, has an absolute MVP stellar year, and leads the Bulls to a really good seed and a good playoff run.
Now, question for you. Now, those awards are decided after the season is complete, correct?
Yes.
Now, would you say that's only because the Rockets won in 94, 95? That's the only reason he...
No. I don't... The MVP award is given before the finals.
Before the finals? Oh, so there's no pertaining...
I think the only sport that does all the awards after the entire fact is the NHL.
Okay. So it had nothing to do...
I don't think... Because the NFL gives out the MVP awards before the Super Bowl.
It's like the night before, I think, right?
Right.
They made the whole show...
The NHL does an entire award ceremony after the whole thing is over, because that's when they present the... So they do the Stanley Cup and the Conn Smythe winner at the Stanley Cup.
It's going to be messier. We already talked about it.
But they do an entire awards banquet thing, because they have different awards that go into it, that, you know, full season awards, including playoffs, things like that. But... No, so to answer your question, no, Olajuwon winning the finals had nothing to do with him winning MVP, but just the fact, I think Scottie Pippen might be the most underrated player of all time. I mean, he's always discussed about as being one of the best all around players of all time. I mean, it's a very loose, underrated.
Yeah, but definitely overshadowed.
He gets underrated in the same way Melo kind of does, because like people are gonna recognize what Melo's done, but then you have so many people like, oh, he's trash, he's garbage. Like, how are you gonna say that when he's had one season under 20 points a game, and he's a scorer? That's what he is.
And here's my thing too: Scottie Pippen averaged 16 points a game for his career
as a defender.
Right, and he played in the time when he didn't have to be the scorer on his team, so he was able to average 16 points a game. That number went drastically up when he didn't have Jordan around. Mm-hmm. But you go back, or you look now at the NBA. Really, he's a better defensive version of Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard's considered one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah.
If Scottie Pippen played now, I think Scottie Pippen very much so could be the second or third best player in the NBA.
I'm going to transition this into another player, former player, who said that he thinks the game is changing to his benefit. Jimmer Fredette.
Where is he coming from to say these things?
Well, what kills me is he was in the league with Steph Curry, and Steph Curry had success while Jimmer still didn't. He claims that he's a Steph Curry-like guard. No.
Here's a guy who's holding on to his college glory days of half-court shots.
Everyone just kind of, he got a great first name, Jimmer. Take a deep three. But he sucked. At the end of the day, he sucked. He shot an average three-point percentage, and he doesn't do. Curry does more than just threes.
It's actually a good it's a good segue into this conversation I actually wanted to bring up. I wish Kyle was here to weigh in on it, but I was having a discussion with some guys at work, granted, yes, there's a whole generation below us that are growing up watching Steph Curry basketball that didn't get to watch all the Kobe basketball that we watched.
Poor kids.
But do you think that we'll ever see a generation not saying Kobe when they shoot something into the trash?
Yeah.
You think
so?
It'll be Steph?
I think so. I don't think it'll be Steph. Because I think it might be Steph, actually.
Well,
It's weird because Kobe is still in the media a lot. So the kids seeing Steph
Did you see
still
that thing about
know
his power
Kobe.
drink or whatever?
Yeah, the body armor.
Body armor. Did you see that?
You know what's funny? How
He invested, what was it, $6 million? $5 or $6 million, like 3 or 4 years ago, into body armor energy electrolyte drinks, and now he's worth $200 million.
I told you they're coming after Gatorade.
That's some millionaire
punch.
shit.
Yeah, that's why I drink body armor.
That one's good.
But I drink it because after a long night of drinking, I need to rehydrate.
I'm bringing
Not
to
because
work
I'm exercising.
Kendall sacrifices the pissing in his bed for the hydration in the morning.
Right, exactly.
They're good, and Gatorade's been running this shit forever. I think UFC is the only one that's actually endorsed body armor.
Yeah.
As like their official drink. But I mean, they could.
But
they could
we're in a
grow.
whole different realm now. People now, like, it's just like anything else. The trends move. Working out now is not about just, let's bulk
Why
up
work out?
and well, it's just like back then it was about working out and staying hydrated. Now it's about work out less and bulk up more. Yeah. So it's things like creatine and
it's about an aesthetic, not about
high
being
protein,
strong.
low carb, that whole thing or whatever. I mean,
that's all the gains.
There's no protein in beer, but I'm all about it.
That's right.
There could be. We can make a protein beer. That's going to be some terrible, terrible, terrible shits.
Oh, yeah.
And beer and protein shits combined. Get your protein porter. Oh, my God.
Protein porter.
I actually tried that one time. Not going to lie. So,
God.
I think it was after the Cole news. I was at Maple one day, and, I came home from the gym, and I was having a really bad week. And I was like, God, I really need a drink. But I was like, I just came home from the gym. I was like, I should have a protein shake. So I'm pretty sure I mixed 2 Busch Lights with 3 scoops of protein powder and slammed it and then went to bed at 1 in the afternoon.
That probably sat in your stomach like a brick.
No, it didn't. It came out of my ass like a fucking mudslide.
That's gross.
But, yeah, I don't know. The Scottie Pippen thing, it always drives me. It's like, you look back, right now, and this is one of those things, too. Keep that same quasi-GOAT discussion going.
It's the younger generation. Screws everything up.
Right.
Damn kids.
Real quick, I just want to close real quick. You know why Kobe will never be replaced? 2 syllables. Kobe.
Curry.
I don't know. I was thinking Steph in my head. Curry,
Stephen. I don't understand.
Curry has a different meaning.
Don't say Stephen.
Curry has a different meaning at this table, though. You can't go off that because Curry has a different meaning at this table.
That's right.
Wait, what is it?
My thing is, here's my thing.
Wardell.
I didn't know that. Wardell?
That's
Wardell.
Wait, what about his father?
That's probably also Wardell. I don't know if he's Wardell or
I don't know.
It's actually something we got to look
Did
at.
you see that interview that Vince Carter did about his age, coming back for another season with the Atlanta Hawks? And
I don't think so.
Oh, my God. Someone was interviewing, was like, you're pushing, was he 38 now? 38, 39?
Vince?
No, he's 41. 41, yeah.
He's
still
old man.
It's nuts. I don't think that's a...
Finish it. Hey, listen.
It's just a
Into
really...
the beer.
Ooh.
There we go.
So here's the thing. Vince Carter was doing the interview, and they were talking about it. And he was like, some of the questions asked were like, oh, do you miss not having the hop that you used to have? And he's like, no. He's like, I cemented my legacy as the greatest dunker of all time, which made me very happy that he said that, because he should know that he is. People like to argue that Gerald Green contested him. Bullshit.
Gerald Green.
I'll tell you what, Gerald Green had
Electrifying.
a very high vertical, but as far as the dunks go, they were not close to Vince Carter.
Honestly, there's only one person in my mind that will ever be able to compete with him for greatest in-game dunker of all time, and he hasn't even played a game in the NBA yet.
Oh, I think are we talking about a big gentleman that plays at Duke?
Yep.
Yeah.
Zion?
I think it's crazy he's got that vertical and that weight. That's going to be a weird... It's weird
like,
because
so
it's
do you know,
counterproductive.
have you watched...
No, I
okay,
don't
so
know what you're
this is
talking
what I
about.
want you to... I'm going to throw a name out at you, and I think you know this name. So, imagine Vince Carter hops and flexibility, ability to do creative dunks, but Jermaine O'Neal size.
Wow.
Bigger than Jermaine O'Neal.
O'Neal's a big
He's
dude.
the second... If he were in the NBA today, he'd be the second heaviest player behind Boban. Yeah,
he's
he
got
beats
some
Boban.
serious weight behind him.
He's like 280.
All right, let's say Miami Heat Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, okay. the dude's 6'7", 280, but his vertical is. I mean, he gets his head above the rim.
He did a 180 reverse behind the back dunk in a warm up in high school.
Yeah, he's been all over the media. I think that's another cool thing too. How social media has a lot of bad things too, but it's also good. I never would have known half of the prospects coming up just because we see them in high. It's cool seeing where they go. They go to college, then they're in the pros. It'll be interesting though.
See that video of the high school game, the Madden glitch one? There's people saying, "Oh, Madden glitches are getting super real." So it's this tiny little white quarterback guy from a high school game. So it's a botched snap over his head. He goes back about 15 yards to get it. He curls out to avoid a defender, and he comes back in. 2 defenders come in to tackle him, and he does like a sidestep type move. The defenders crash into each other, breaks out of the tackles to have his arm. He breaks out. He's running the line of scrimmage, and he just fucking hucks it 40 yards downfield because everybody came back to tackle him, and his receiver stayed out in the 5-yard line. Hucked it as hard as he could. Receiver just basket catches it in the 5-yard line and just walks in for the game-winning walk-off touchdown.
Oh, man.
Man, I've been on the wrong end of a walk-off touchdown, and they suck. What do you guys take a look at the new gameplay for the new Madden?
Have you
I haven't
played
seen it yet.
No.
Kyle and I have played it.
Who has it? You have
Kyle
it?
does.
He would.
Kyle went out and bought it the night it came out.
How is it? Because Frostbite's a good... they have a few other games that I've done.
So, granted, much like any other Madden, I feel that there's always one side of the ball that takes you a little bit to get used to.
Yeah.
So Kyle and I we did a fantasy draft, and this team was fucking stacked. Offensively and
So
defensively.
easy to stack a team. I've never understood that.
So, ready for this? Another reason I wish Kyle was here. Kyle drafted Antonio Brown with the 17th pick in the fantasy draft.
How so?
And they told us that we reached.
It's because
99 overall.
It's because they want you to pick an O-line first and a D-line first. And they don't.
Also, big disclosure to anybody out there hasn't gotten Madden yet and is thinking about getting it or will get it. I know people at this table are all about it.
Oh, I'm not getting it.
Here's the thing about Madden this year. If you're going to do a fantasy draft, I highly recommend that you do the pause draft thing when you're picking your player and watch who other people are picking. Because Kyle and I thought it was going to be just like last year, and by the 3rd round, the best running back available was LaShawn McCoy.
He's in prison almost.
But for how many times now? How many years have we played Madden where you could get Le'Veon Bell in the 5th round?
Never.
You could get Jordan Howard in the 14th round. He's gone by round 2.
Wow.
Running backs are going. They're making it more fantasy football-like, where receivers are around. We got Gronk in the 7th round as a 99, and they told us we reached.
Wow.
Who are they, and who do they think they are?
Cowards, all of them.
Well, Kendall, I hope you're prepared for some social media plugging.
I'm ready.
Mock's not here.
I know. Coward.
But I'm for Madden though, for Kyle and I, we found we like I said, we drafted the team.
Gameplay?
The gameplay is very good. The tackling I think is a lot better this year.
Yeah, because
they do one of those things
Frostbite's a good.
It's
company.
realistic, and it's frustrating because any sports game that is realistic is frustrating.
Yeah.
Anybody who has played them over the years knows that.
Somewhat of an arcade feel.
I've played games, where I have come up with the linebacker that was in coverage on a run play, come up, tackle the guy 4 yards, and then 2 defensive linemen come in and tackle him from behind, and the running back gets pushed forward 2 yards. It's frustrating because it picks up the first down,
right?
But it's realistic. That's how it goes. That's the way. So Kyle has, and anybody who's here knows that Kyle usually on offense is a big screen and deep shot guy. Kyle has played very conservative offense, and it has been very difficult on offense for both of us. Defense, I've been fucking killing it.
Lights out.
There we go.
So Kyle and I drafted a team, and I got Von Miller, and week 2, I'm at 9 sacks with Von Miller.
Wow.
Yeah. Killing it. Offense is tough, though. I think, in my opinion, running is very hard this year, and the receivers do not get open as easily. I mean, we played a team, Prince of Mukamara locked down Antonio Brown.
Ooh. There ain't no royalty.
I mean, Mukamara is a great cornerback. I'm not going to shit on him. He's a good cornerback.
He's aight.
No, he's a good cornerback.
He's aight.
No, he's a good cornerback. He's a good cornerback, Jeff.
He's not a king. He's prince.
Boo. They save that private stock?
No, we don't have any more. You can go ahead and shotgun a beer, though. So we're out of time. I hope you enjoyed. If we have some late tuner inners type of deal. Starting today, 3-hour format. That's news to all of you and Jeff.
Yep.
10 to 1. More drinking, more sports.
That's right. Join us.
We're coming in with better segments. PPRN is doing
they're better.
They're going to sound better to you. PPRN is coming in with a whole new format altogether.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in for everything they've got to offer. Kendall will go through the list when we do our social media plugs.
Yep.
But 10 to 1 for Getting Sports with Drunk every Sunday live. Make sure you're tuning in. We're going to be making the push soon to be Facebook Live for all 3 hours.
Yep.
We love all of you guys to be commenting, putting your 2 cents in.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys watch us, a lot of you guys watch us after the fact, but tune in while we're on because we want to have interaction with you guys. Like,
Well, and here's the thing, too.
Send us stuff you want to talk about.
And here's the thing, too. If you're viewing us when we're not live, drop your comments. Things we can talk about next week. We bring up a lot of Mets topics. Mets.
We love the Mets here.
GOAT topic. We bring it up all the time. We love the topics. Throw them in there. We'll comment on them next week. You'll hear your name shouted out.
For sure.
Make sure you check the link in our bio on Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk for shirt purchases. I believe we've got until the 27th.
I have 27th. A kid to feed, so if you could buy shirts, that'd be very great.
Yeah, 27th.
And they're cool-looking shirts, so
to
the critics out there, it's a cool shirt.
My son's hungry, so please buy some shirts.
And realistically, too, for a shirt, for a custom shirt, supporting a local thing, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
A good deal on a shirt. Grab one, support local. Kendall, tell them where they can find us.
You can find us Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk.
Well, hot damn.
You can find us on Twitter, GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's drinking a plethora of Red Dogs,
Cliffords,
or watching little boys field baseballs like Kyle and Mock are doing right now.
Wherever you find your podcasts and internet radio shows, whether it be Google Play, iTunes.
Google, huh?
Google. We covered all the bases here.
Wow. Hot damn.
You talk to your
Google
Alexas,
Play, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube.
We're there every Sunday. Like the Riddler mentioned before. We're on the PPRN radio network.
Yeah.
Reed did the format. Peter Pino, his show, Tuesday and Wednesdays. Tune in. Great content. Good stuff. And we're on there too on Sundays.
Saturday mixtape.
Yep,
the whole 9 yards.
And the music too. So the music was broken down day by day. Now it's so involved now. I mean, forget your FM stations. It's a waste.
Yeah,
You're wasting your
the
time.
same 3 songs.
Go download the PPRN app, free app. Download it. Have that linked to your car wherever you go. You have Bluetooth in your car. Have it linked up. You won't be disappointed. Download the app. Leave FM. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, screw you, FM.
Just
don't you work? No.
Some future content. We've got the Red Baron has a Price is Right game planned.
Price is Right.
That's going to be coming up soon. That's going to be a lot of fun. That might be a multi-hour segment.
It might be.
Might miss a break 1 week for that one. I'm super excited about it because if the Red Baron's coming up with it, that means that I get to be on the playing end.
That's right.
I've never been on the playing end of a game on our show.
The host of
be very excited about that. We also have Souls of Sleepers coming up soon with with fantasy coming up. We're also going to do some reporting and live videos from our group's fantasy football draft.
Yep.
You'll be sure to get a good look into all the players that are going to be injured on J-Mart's team.
Yep.
We'll probably Facebook Live that whole draft.
A lot of beers.
A lot of good content coming up. We got a lot of good things planned for the future, so make sure you stay tuned. But until those things happen, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
Well, you still will be once those happen.
You don't know that. Our hostess Cupcake might be Maxine Washable.
No, that guy is washing little kids.
Maxine Washable, Man of Many Names, abandoned us for boys, private stock coming their way. And the best part is...
Fresh
private stock.
Fresh batch.
And you know what the best part is about it?
That I have to work next Sunday.
No. It's Maxine and Souls. which means a lot of tequila.
Good.
And broken caps.
That's right.
Yeah, they fucking suck. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm letting the air go so they
Oh.
They can know.
And I'm J Mart.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Yeah.